Welcome to Lotus Whisper. I am your guide on this quiet journey through the landscape of the heart. Tonight, we sit together in the soft glow of a single candle to explore a question that touches every human soul. Why does the heart ache so deeply? And how can the ancient wisdom of the Buddha help us navigate the storms of our emotions? Perhaps you feel a weight in your chest, or a restless wind blowing through your thoughts. This is the beginning of our path. We will look closely at the nature of this discomfort, not to run away from it, but to understand its roots in the shifting soil of our desires and fears. Let us breathe together and begin to untie the knots of worry. If you find peace in these words, I invite you to subscribe to Lotus Whisper and walk this path with us. Let the outside world fade away as we step into the stillness. Chapter 1. Phase 1. Anxiety. The heavy, suffocating clouds of a restless mind, the weight of the day's burdens. The sun has dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a sky the color of a bruised plum. Here in the monastery, the shadows stretch long and thin across the wooden floorboards, which have been polished by the feet of many seekers over hundreds of years. The air is cool, carrying the faint, sweet scent of damp earth and the lingering memory of incense. You are sitting here with me, and though the room is silent, I can feel the vibration of your spirit. It is a restless vibration, like the humming of a wire pulled too tight. This is where we begin. We begin with the weight. Close your eyes for a moment, and let us look at this weight together. It feels like a heavy cloak draped over your shoulders, or perhaps a thick fog that has settled in the valley of your mind. It is the feeling of things left undone, of words you wish you could take back, and of a future that feels like a dark forest you must walk through alone. This is what we call anxiety. In the language of the heart, it is a form of suffering that comes when the mind is no longer in the present moment. The mind has wandered off into the tall grass of what might happen or what has already passed. Notice how this anxiety lives in your body. It is not just a thought, it is a physical presence. Perhaps your breath is shallow, barely reaching the top of your lungs. Perhaps your shoulders are pulled up toward your ears, as if you are bracing for a blow that never comes. Feel the tightness in your chest, right where your heart beats. It feels like a bird trapped in a cage, fluttering its wings against the bars. Do not try to stop the fluttering. Do not try to force the bird to be still. For now, we are simply noticing. We are becoming the silent observer of our own discomfort. In the ancient teachings, the Buddha spoke of the two arrows. Imagine you are walking through a forest and you are struck by an arrow. The physical pain is sharp and real. This is the first arrow. It represents the unavoidable pains of life, the losses, sicknesses, and the unexpected changes. But then, as you lie there, you begin to think. You think, why did this happen to me? Who shot this arrow? Will I ever heal? What if I am stuck here forever? These thoughts are the second arrow. We shoot the second arrow into ourselves, right into the same wound where the first arrow landed. The first arrow is pain, but the second arrow is suffering. Anxiety is almost always the second arrow. It is the story we tell ourselves about our pain. It is the way we replay the moment of being struck over and over in our minds until the wound never has a chance to close. Think of a young monk named Koji. Koji lived in a mountain temple, much like this one. He was a diligent student, but his mind was like a storm-tossed sea. Every evening, when the work was done and the lanterns were lit, Koji would sit on his cushion, but he could not find peace. His mind would race. He worried about whether the elders thought he was lazy. He worried about the winter snows that were coming. He worried about his family in the village far below. He felt as though he were carrying a giant sack of stones on his back, even when he was lying down to sleep. The sack was filled with the heavy rocks of his worries. One night, Koji went to his teacher, an old man whose face was as wrinkled as a dried raisin, but whose eyes were as clear as a mountain spring. Koji said, "Master, I am suffocating. My mind will not stop. I feel a great weight on my chest, and I cannot breathe. I am afraid of everything that hasn't happened yet. The master looked at Koji and did not say a word at first. He simply picked up a small ceramic jar filled with water from a nearby stream. The water was muddy and brown because it had just rained. The master set the jar on the low table between them. He said, "Koji, look at this water. It is cloudy and dark. Can you see the bottom of the jar?" Koji shook his head and said, "No, master, it is too muddy." The master then said, "If you want to see the bottom, should you stir the water with your finger? Should you try to push the mud down to the floor of the jar?" Koji replied, "No, that would only make it worse." The master nodded and said, "Then we shall do nothing. We shall simply let it sit." They sat in silence for a long time. Koji felt his own anxiety rising. He wanted the master to give him a secret mantra or a special breathing technique. He wanted a solution he could use right now. But the master just sat there, watching the jar. Slowly, very slowly, the tiny particles of dirt began to lose their momentum. They began to drift downward, pulled by a force they did not understand. One by one, they settled on the bottom. The water near the top became a pale amber, then a clear gold, until finally it was as transparent as the air itself. At the bottom of the jar lay a thick layer of silt, but above it the water was pure. The master said, "Your mind is like this jar, Koji. When you are anxious, the mud of your thoughts is stirred up. You try to fix it by thinking more, by worrying more, by struggling to find a way out, but the more you struggle, the more you stir the mud. The secret is not to fix the thoughts. The secret is to let them settle. You do not need to get rid of the mud. The mud is part of the world. You only need to let it rest at the bottom so that you can see through the water. As you listen to my voice, imagine your own mind is like that jar of water. The anxiety you feel, the heavy clouds, the suffocating pressure, these are just particles of mud. They are not you. They are just things that have been stirred up by the wind of the day. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to push them away. If you try to push them away, you are only creating more movement, more friction, more heat. Instead, just sit. Let the weight be there. Let the clouds be there. Breathe in deeply, feeling the air enter your nostrils, cool and fresh. Breathe out slowly, feeling the air leave your body, warm and soft. As you breathe, acknowledge the anxiety. Say to yourself silently, "I see you, anxiety. I feel you in my chest. I feel you in my throat. You are here, and that is okay." By acknowledging it, you are no longer the victim of it. You are the observer. You are the space in which the anxiety is happening. The sky does not fight the clouds. The sky simply provides the space for the clouds to exist, to drift, and eventually, to dissolve. You are the sky. Your anxiety is just a passing weather pattern. It is a heavy weather pattern, I know. It feels solid, like a wall of stone. But if you look closely at a wall of stone, you see that it is made of many small pieces. Your anxiety is made of many small thoughts. There is the thought of what you must do tomorrow. There is the thought of what someone said to you. There is the thought of your own inadequacy. Each one is a small stone. When they are piled together, they look like a mountain. But we can look at them one by one. Think of the rhythm of your day. From the moment you woke up, your mind has been reaching forward. It has been reaching for the next cup of coffee, the next email, the next conversation, the next task. This constant reaching creates a tension, a stretching of the soul. We are never where our feet are. We are always 3 steps ahead or 10 miles down the road. This is the root of restlessness. We are trying to live in a moment that hasn't arrived yet. And because that moment isn't real, we feel unstable. We feel like we are standing on shifting sand. The Buddha taught that all suffering comes from attachment. In the case of anxiety, we are attached to a specific outcome. We want things to go a certain way. We want people to like us. We want to be successful. We want to be safe. Because the world is always changing, and because we cannot control the wind or the rain or the hearts of others, we feel a constant underlying fear. We are holding on so tightly to the rope of our desires that our hands are bleeding. Anxiety is the pain of that grip. Let go of the rope, just for a moment. You do not need to hold it right now. In this room, in this quiet space, there is nothing you need to do. There is no one you need to be. The world will continue to turn without your worry. The stars will still hang in the velvet blackness of the night, whether you are anxious or at peace. Allow yourself the luxury of being unimportant for a few minutes. You are not the manager of the universe. You are a human being, sitting on the earth, breathing. Feel the contact of your body with the chair or the floor. Feel the weight of your bones. This is gravity. Gravity is the earth's way of holding you. You do not have to work to stay on the ground. The earth is doing the work for you. Can you trust the earth to hold you? Can you let your weight sink down, down into the support beneath you? Let your belly soften. Let your jaw relax. There is a small space between your teeth. Let your tongue rest gently behind your lower teeth. When we are anxious, we often hold our breath without realizing it. We are like a person underwater, waiting for the surface. But you are not underwater. You are surrounded by an ocean of air. It is always here, always available, always free. You do not have to earn your next breath. It is a gift given to you by the trees and the plants. Breathe in that gift. Let it fill the tight spaces in your chest. Imagine the breath is like a soft, golden light entering your body. Wherever this light touches, the muscles begin to uncoil. The knots of worry begin to loosen their hold. The mind will try to pull you back. It will whisper, "But what about the deadline? What about the money? What about the mistake you made?" When these whispers come, treat them like distant bird calls. You hear them, but you don't have to follow them into the woods. You can stay here, by the fire of your own presence. Just return to the breath. The breath is your anchor. No matter how high the waves of anxiety grow, the anchor remains firmly planted in the seabed of the present moment. Think of the great trees outside this monastery. They have stood for 100 years. They have seen storms that ripped branches from their trunks. They have seen droughts that turned the soil to dust. They have seen the heavy snows of winter weigh down their limbs until they almost snapped. But the trees do not worry. They do not ask when the rain will come. They do not wonder if they are growing fast enough. They simply stand. They sink their roots deep into the dark, cool earth, and they reach their leaves toward the light. They accept the storm when it comes, and they accept the sun when it returns. You are like those trees. You have a core within you that is deep and stable. The anxiety you feel is just the wind whistling through your branches. It may shake the leaves, it may even break a small twig, but it cannot move the trunk. It cannot touch the roots. Your roots are made of your basic goodness, your capacity for awareness, and your connection to all living things. Spend a moment feeling those roots. Imagine them extending from the base of your spine, down through the floor, down through the foundation of the building, deep into the ancient, silent soil of the earth. You are grounded. You are safe. You are part of this world. The heavy clouds of the mind are made of shadows. And what is a shadow? A shadow is simply a place where the light is being blocked. When we are anxious, we are blocking the light of our own wisdom with the dark shapes of our fears. We think the shadows are solid walls, but if you walk toward a shadow, you find there is nothing there to stop you. You can walk right through it. The Buddha once said that our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. If we think thoughts of fear and worry, our world becomes a fearful and worrisome place. But the mind is also a tool. It is a garden. If we plant seeds of anxiety, we will harvest a crop of suffering. But we can choose to plant different seeds. We can plant seeds of patience. We can plant seeds of gentleness. We can plant seeds of trust. Tonight, we are not trying to reach a state of perfect enlightenment. We are not trying to become saints. We are just trying to be a little bit more kind to ourselves. We are trying to look at our emotional pain with the eyes of a mother looking at a crying child. A mother does not get angry at the child for crying. She does not tell the child that their pain is a mistake. She simply picks the child up, holds them close and says, "I am here. It is okay." Can you do that for yourself? Can you hold your own anxious heart? Can you say to your own pain, "I am here. I see you. You are not alone"? This simple act of self-compassion is the beginning of the end of suffering. It is the moment when the second arrow is pulled out. The first arrow may still be there, the situation may still be difficult, but the extra layer of self-judgment and fear begins to dissolve. As we sit here in the deepening night, notice if the air feels a little lighter. Perhaps the fog in your mind has started to thin, just enough to see a few stars through the gaps. The weight on your chest may still be there, but perhaps it feels less like a stone and more like a warm blanket. This is the shift. This is the movement from the chaos of anxiety to the beginning of tranquility. The path of Zen is not about getting rid of emotions. It is about changing our relationship to them. We do not want to be like a stone that feels nothing. We want to be like the ocean. The ocean has waves on the surface. Sometimes the waves are small and playful. Sometimes they are massive and destructive. But deep down, 100 feet below the surface, the water is always still. The pressure is constant. The silence is absolute. No matter what is happening on the surface, the deep ocean is at peace. You have that deep ocean within you. Your anxiety is just the surface wave. It is loud, it is frothy, it is moving fast, but it is only a small part of who you are. Beneath the anxiety, there is a vast, quiet space that has never been disturbed by any storm. It is the space of your true nature. It is the part of you that knows how to heal, how to rest, and how to simply be. Let us sit in that space for a while. Let the silence of the room enter your ears. Let the stillness of the candle flame enter your eyes. The flame is steady. It does not flicker unless a draft hits it. Even then, it always seeks the center. It always points upward. Be like the flame. Find your center. Point your awareness toward the present moment. If a thought comes, let it come. If it stays, let it stay. If it goes, let it go. Do not follow it, do not fight it. Just watch it pass, like a leaf floating down a stream. You are standing on the bank, watching the leaves go by. Some leaves are bright and beautiful, some are brown and withered. It does not matter. The stream carries them all away. You remain on the bank, steady and still. As this first chapter of our journey begins to close, take a moment to thank yourself. Thank yourself for having the courage to look at your pain. Most people spend their whole lives running away from it. They hide in work, in noise, in distractions. But you have chosen to sit with it. You have chosen to listen to the whisper of the lotus. This is a brave thing. This is the first step toward freedom. The clouds are still there, perhaps, but they are no longer suffocating. They are just clouds. The mind is still restless, perhaps, but you are no longer lost in the restlessness. You are the one who is watching the mind, and the one who is watching is already at peace. Take one more deep breath. Feel the life force moving through you. Feel the warmth in your hands and the pulse in your neck. You are alive. You are here. You are enough. The burdens of the day are starting to fall away, one by one, like the stones from Koji's sack. You are lighter now. You are ready to move deeper into the stillness. As the candle burns a little lower, let the quietness of this monastery wrap around you like a silk robe. The night is young, and the path is open. We have looked at the face of anxiety, and we have not blinked. We have seen that it is made of thoughts and shadows. We have felt the weight, and we have started to let it sink into the earth. Rest now in this beginning. Rest in the knowledge that you do not have to figure everything out tonight. The answers will come in their own time, like the mud settling in the jar. For now, there is only the breath. There is only the silence. There is only the soft glow of the light. You are safe. You are held. You are beginning to find your way home to the peace that has always been waiting for you, deep inside. We will continue this journey, step by step, breath by breath. The heavy clouds are parting. The sky is waiting. Let yourself be still. Let yourself be. Let the whisper of the lotus guide you into the next phase of our journey, where the water becomes even clearer and the heart becomes even lighter. Peace be with you in this moment and in every moment that follows. Welcome back to the sanctuary of the heart. You have taken the first step by grounding yourself in the earth. Now, we must turn our gaze inward to the place where the winds are blowing. Do not be afraid. You are the mountain, and the storm is merely passing through. We are here together in this quiet space where the incense smoke curls toward the ceiling. Let us begin to look at the source of the tightness in your chest and the restlessness in your spirit. Through the eyes of the Buddha, we see that pain is a teacher and anxiety is a messenger waiting to be heard. Listen closely to the whisper of the lotus as we enter the heart of the storm to find the stillness within. We sit together on the polished wooden floor of this ancient temple. The wood is dark, cool to the touch, and smooth from the passage of 1,000 feet that have walked this path before us. Outside, the sky has turned a deep, bruised purple. The air is heavy with the scent of coming rain and the damp earth of the mountain. You can feel the pressure in the atmosphere, a subtle weight that presses against your skin. This is the beginning of the storm. It is not something to be feared, but something to be observed with the quiet eyes of a witness. Look at your hands resting in your lap. Notice the way the light from the single candle flickers across your knuckles. The flame is small, yet it holds its ground against the vast shadows of the hall. Your breath is like that flame. It is your anchor. It is your light. Even when the winds of anxiety begin to howl, the flame of your awareness remains. Let us bring our attention to the body, for the body is the landscape where the storm first makes its presence known. Close your eyes and feel the weight of your shoulders. Are they pulled upward, toward your ears, as if bracing for a blow that never comes? This is the armor we build when we are afraid. It is a heavy suit of iron that we wear every day, thinking it will protect us from the world. But the iron only makes us tired. It restricts our movement and makes every step a struggle. Imagine now that a warm, golden light is pouring over your shoulders. Feel the iron melting away. Feel the muscles softening like wax near a fire. The tension is not who you are. It is simply a habit of the body trying to keep you safe in a world it does not yet understand. Breathe into that space behind your neck. Feel the vertebrae lengthening. There is no need to fight the world right now. In this temple, the world cannot reach you. Move your awareness down to your jaw. So often, we clench our teeth as if we are holding on to a secret or trying to bite back words that want to escape. Let the lower jaw drop slightly. Let there be a small space between your teeth. Feel the skin of your face smoothing out, like the surface of a pond when the wind dies down. Your forehead, your temples, the tiny muscles around your eyes, let them all release their grip. Anxiety lives in these small contractions. It hides in the corners of our expressions. By softening the face, we send a signal to the heart that it is okay to be still. We are identifying the source of the storm, not by thinking about it, but by feeling where it has taken root in our physical form. Now, bring your focus to your chest. This is often where the storm is loudest. Can you feel the fluttering there? It is like a bird trapped in a small wooden cage, beating its wings against the bars. This fluttering is the physical echo of your thoughts. It is the heart reacting to the stories the mind is telling. The mind says, something is wrong. The mind says, what if the future is dark? The mind says, I am not enough. And the heart, being a loyal servant, begins to beat faster, preparing for a battle that is not actually happening. Place your hand over your heart. Feel the warmth of your palm. You are not the bird. You are the person holding the cage, and you have the key. The key is the breath. When you breathe deeply and slowly, you are telling the bird that it is safe to rest. You are telling the heart that the storm is outside, and you are inside, protected by the thick walls of your own presence. In the teachings of the Buddha, we learn about the second arrow. The first arrow is the pain itself, the natural anxiety that comes from being human in an unpredictable world. We cannot always avoid the first arrow. Life will bring challenges, losses, and uncertainties. But the second arrow is the one we shoot into ourselves. It is our reaction to the pain. It is the judgment, the resistance, and the fear of the fear. We feel anxious, and then we become anxious about being anxious. We feel a tightness in our chest, and we tell ourselves a story that we are failing, or that something is fundamentally broken within us. This second arrow is where the true suffering lies. As we sit here in the gathering shadows of the temple, we are learning to put down the bow. We are learning to look at the first arrow, the raw sensation of anxiety, without adding the weight of our own judgment. Listen to the wind outside. It picks up speed, whistling through the eaves of the temple roof. It rattles the paper screens. It shakes the branches of the old pine trees in the courtyard. This wind is like your thoughts. They come from nowhere. They swirl around with great intensity, and then they vanish. You do not try to catch the wind. You do not try to argue with it, or tell it that it should not be blowing. You simply listen to it. You stay inside the temple, watching the wind from behind the safety of the glass. Your mind is the temple. Your thoughts are the wind. You can observe the anxious thoughts without becoming them. You can say to yourself, there is a thought about tomorrow. There is a thought about a mistake I made. There is a thought about someone's opinion. Watch them pass by like clouds across a stormy sky. The sky does not become the clouds. The sky remains vast and clear, even when it is hidden by the greyest mist. Deep within the center of your being, there is a source of heat. It is your inner sun. Even when the storm is at its peak, this sun is still there. Anxiety is like a thick fog that rolls in from the sea, obscuring the sun and making everything feel cold and damp. But the fog has no substance. If you try to grab a handful of fog, your hand comes back empty. If you walk into the fog, you realize it is just mist and air. The source of your inner storm is often found in our attachment to things being a certain way. We want the world to be predictable. We want people to act according to our wishes. We want our bodies to never feel pain. When the reality of life clashes with these desires, the friction creates the heat of anxiety. We are like a traveler who is angry at the rain because it is getting his clothes wet. The rain is just rain. It is our desire for dryness that causes the suffering. Think of a river. When the river is shallow and full of rocks, the water splashes and foams, creating a great deal of noise and turbulence. But when the river is deep, it flows silently. Anxiety is the shallow water hitting the rocks of our expectations. We are learning to deepen the river of our consciousness. We are learning to let the water flow over the rocks without resistance. Imagine your anxiety as a heavy stone you have been carrying in a backpack for many miles. You have carried it for so long that you have forgotten you can put it down. You think the weight is part of your own body, but it is not. As you sit here, imagine unbuckling the straps of that backpack. Feel the weight slide off your shoulders and hit the floor with a dull thud. You do not have to carry the future tonight. The future is a ghost that has not yet been born. You do not have to carry the past. The past is a dream that has already ended. There is only this moment, the scent of the incense and the sound of your own steady breathing. The source of the inner storm is often a lack of trust. We do not trust that we have the strength to handle what comes. We do not trust the natural flow of life. But look at the trees outside in the temple garden. They do not worry about the storm. They have deep roots that reach far down into the dark, rich soil. When the wind blows, they bend. They do not break because they are flexible. They allow the wind to move through their branches. They trust the earth to hold them. You are like those trees. Your roots are your breath and your awareness. No matter how hard the wind of anxiety blows, your roots are deeper than the storm. You have survived every storm you have ever faced. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still whole. Let us explore the sensation of tension in the spirit. Sometimes, anxiety is not just in the body, but in a sense of being out of alignment. It is a feeling that we are searching for something we cannot find, or that we are running away from something that is chasing us. In the silence of this temple, ask yourself, what am I running from in this very moment? Often we find that we are running from the present moment itself. We are trying to escape the now because the now feels uncomfortable. But the only way to find peace is to stop running. When you stop, the thing chasing you also stops. When you turn around and face the storm with a gentle heart, you see that it is not a monster. It is just energy. It is just life moving through you. In the Zen tradition, we speak of the original face, the face you had before you were born. This is your true nature, which is inherently peaceful, clear, and luminous. Anxiety is like a mask that we put on so tightly that we forget it is a mask. We begin to think the mask is our real face. But under the mask of the worried worker, the stressed parent, or the fearful seeker, there is a silent observer who is always at peace. This observer is watching the storm right now. This observer is not anxious. This observer is simply noticing the anxiety. Can you find that part of yourself? The part that is just noticing. The part that is like the deep ocean floor, where the water is still and blue, even while a hurricane rages on the surface. As the rain begins to fall on the temple roof, hear the rhythmic tapping of the drops. Each drop is a moment. Each drop arrives and then disappears into the earth. The storm is not one big, solid thing. It is a collection of millions of tiny drops. Your anxiety is the same. It is not one giant, insurmountable wall. It is a collection of small thoughts, small physical sensations, and small breaths. When you break it down, it becomes manageable. You do not have to deal with the whole storm at once. You only have to deal with this one drop, this one breath, this one heartbeat. The tension in your spirit is like a knot in a piece of silk. If you pull on the ends of the silk, the knot only gets tighter. This is what we do when we try to force ourselves to stop being anxious. We pull on the knot. We struggle. We fight. But if you want to undo a knot, you must look at it closely and gently loosen the threads. You must be patient. You must use soft fingers. We are loosening the knot of anxiety by being kind to ourselves. We are saying to our pain, I see you. I hear you. I am here with you. You do not have to go away for me to be at peace. We are making friends with the storm. The Buddha taught that all things are impermanent. This is the greatest comfort when we are in the midst of an inner storm. This feeling will not last. It cannot last. It is the nature of all things to change. Just as the clouds are moving across the sky, your feelings are moving through your consciousness. They are like guests in a guest house. Some guests are pleasant and bring flowers. Some guests are loud and messy and stay too long. But they are all just guests. They do not own the house. You are the owner of the house. You can let them come and you can let them go. You do not have to serve them tea or listen to their complaints. You can simply stand in the doorway and watch them leave. The source of the storm is often found in the word should. I should be further along in life. I should be calmer. I should not feel this way. These shoulds are like heavy stones we throw into the quiet pond of our mind. They create ripples of guilt and frustration that feed the anxiety. Let go of the shoulds. For this hour, there are no requirements. There is no destination. You are exactly where you need to be. Even if you are feeling overwhelmed, that is okay. Even if your mind is racing, that is okay. Acceptance is the first light of dawn that begins to dissipate the fog. When you accept that you are anxious, the anxiety loses its power over you. It becomes just another sensation, like the feeling of the floor beneath you or the sound of the rain. Let us sit in this realization for a while. Feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. Notice how the air is cool as it enters your nose and warm as it leaves your lips. This is the cycle of life. Taking in, letting go, taking in, letting go. Your anxiety is often a problem of taking in too much and not letting go enough. We take in the worries of the world, the news, the expectations of others, and we hold on to them. We hold our breath, we hold our muscles, we hold our thoughts. Now, in the safety of this temple, practice the art of letting go. With every exhale, imagine you are releasing a little bit of the grey mist of the storm. Let it flow out of you and into the vast open space of the temple. The temple is big enough to hold it. The universe is big enough to hold it. You do not have to hold it inside your small chest anymore. The shadows in the hall are growing longer. The candle has burned down a little further. The world is slowing down. Can you feel the slowing in your own blood? Can you feel the rhythm of the mountain beginning to pulse in your own heart? The mountain does not hurry. The mountain does not worry about the weather. It simply sits. It has sat through sun and snow, through wind and fire. It remains. You are finding your mountain nature. The source of the storm is being revealed as nothing more than a temporary shift in the weather of your mind. It is not your core. It is not your truth. As we move deeper into this journey, we will begin to see how the storm itself can become a path to peace. But for now, just stay here. Stay with the identification of the tension. Notice the exact spot in your back where the muscles are tight. Notice the exact quality of the thought that makes your heart race. Do not try to change it yet, just know it. To know your pain is to begin to master it. To name the storm is to take away its mystery. You are the witness. You are the silent monk sitting in the temple of your own soul. The wind may howl and the rain may beat against the roof, but here, in the center of your awareness, there is a place that is always dry, always warm, and always still. Rest in this knowledge. Let the words wash over you like a gentle stream. You are doing the work of healing just by being here, just by listening, just by breathing. The source of the inner storm is being seen, and in the seeing, the storm begins to lose its grip. The tension in your body is a message that you are ready to let go. The tension in your spirit is a sign that you are ready to return home to yourself. You are safe. You are held. The lotus is beginning to open, petal by petal, in the middle of the dark water. Stay with the breath. Stay with the silence. The light is within you, and it is growing stronger with every moment of your presence. As the rain continues its steady song, let yourself sink deeper into the floor. Feel the support of the earth beneath the wood. The earth is ancient and wise. It knows how to transform rain into flowers. It knows how to take the heavy energy of a storm and turn it into the green growth of the forest. Let the earth take your anxiety. Let it compost your fears. You do not have to process it all yourself. You are part of a much larger system, a great web of life that knows how to balance itself. Trust the process. Trust the silence. Trust the whisper of the lotus. We are moving from the storm toward the stillness, and you are exactly on time. Every breath is a step closer to home. Every moment of awareness is a victory. The path is unfolding beneath your feet, and it is a path of peace. The candle flame remains steady. The incense continues to rise. The storm outside is just a backdrop to the deep peace that is beginning to settle in your bones. You have identified the source. You have felt the tension. You have looked at the second arrow. Now you can simply be. There is nothing left to do in this phase but to exist, to be the mountain, to be the temple, to be the breath. In this being, the anxiety finds no place to land. It becomes like a bird looking for a branch in a forest that has turned to mist. It simply flies on, leaving you in the beautiful, profound silence of your own true nature. Peace is not the absence of the storm, but the discovery of the center that the storm cannot touch. You have found that center. Stay there. Rest there. The journey continues, but for now, there is only the peace of the present moment. Welcome, traveler of the inner path. You have walked through the winds of the storm, and you have stood firm against the arrows of your own making. You have felt the weight of your emotions, and you have acknowledged their presence without turning away. Now, as the echoes of the external world begin to fade into a soft, distant hum, you find yourself standing at a threshold. This is the entrance to the sanctuary of the mind, a place where the noise of the world cannot reach, and where the light of awareness begins to dawn like a slow, golden sunrise over a silent mountain range. Listen closely to the sound of your own existence. Can you hear it? It is not the sound of words or thoughts, but the subtle vibration of life itself. It is the sound of the air moving in and out of your lungs, a rhythmic tide that connects you to everything that has ever lived. As you step into this space of tranquility, imagine that you are walking onto the smooth, polished wooden floor of an ancient Zen temple. The wood is dark and cool beneath your feet, worn smooth by the footsteps of thousands of seekers who came before you, all looking for the same peace you seek today. The air here is different. It is thin and crisp, carrying the faint, sweet scent of sandalwood incense that has been burning for centuries. This is the sanctuary of Zen, not a place made of stone and timber, but a state of being that lives within the core of your heart. As you move deeper into this mental temple, notice the light. It is not the harsh, blinding light of the midday sun, but the first light of awareness. It is soft and diffused, filtering through paper screens that line the long corridors of your consciousness. This light does not judge what it touches. It does not label the shadows as bad or the brightness as good. It simply reveals things as they are. In this light, your emotional pain begins to change its shape. When you were in the midst of the storm, the pain felt like a solid wall, an unbreakable barrier that stood between you and your happiness. But here, in the quiet sanctuary, you see that the pain is more like a mist. It is translucent. It has no solid core. It is a collection of sensations, memories, and stories that have gathered in the corners of your mind, waiting for the light to touch them. Find a place to sit within this sanctuary. Imagine a small, woven mat placed perfectly in the center of a room that opens out onto a hidden garden. As you sit, feel the weight of your body settling into the earth. The floor beneath you is steady. It does not move. It does not complain. It simply supports you. This is the quality of tranquility we are cultivating. It is a stability that does not depend on the world outside being perfect. It is the stability of a mountain that remains unmoved, whether it is draped in flowers or covered in snow. Your pain may still be there, sitting in the room with you, but it no longer feels like a threat. It is like a guest who has arrived unannounced. You do not have to fight the guest, and you do not have to follow their every command. You simply allow them to sit in the corner while you focus on the rhythm of your own presence. Look out into the garden that lies beyond the paper screens. It is a Zen garden, a landscape of raked sand and carefully placed stones. Each grain of sand represents a moment of your life, a tiny flicker of experience. The patterns raked into the sand are like the thoughts and emotions that move through your mind. Some are circular, swirling around a central point. Others are straight lines, stretching out toward the horizon. In the past, you might have tried to jump into the sand and redraw the lines, trying to force your life into a pattern that felt more comfortable. But now, you simply watch. You observe the patterns from your seat of tranquility. You realize that the hand that rakes the sand is the same hand that can choose to let the sand be still. In the center of the garden, there are several large grey stones. These stones represent the heavy emotions you have been carrying. One stone might be grief. Another might be a deep-seated feeling of inadequacy. Another might be a sharp, jagged piece of anger. In the harsh light of the storm, these stones looked like obstacles, things that were in your way and needed to be removed. But here, in the first light of awareness, you see that they are part of the beauty of the garden. They provide contrast. They give the garden its character. Without the stones, the sand would be a flat, featureless void. Your emotional pain, when viewed through the lens of Zen, is not a mistake. It is not a sign that you have failed or that you are broken. It is simply a feature of the landscape of being human. As you breathe in, feel the coolness of the air entering your nostrils. It travels down your throat, filling your chest and expanding your belly. As you breathe out, feel the warmth of the release. This breath is your anchor. It is the bridge between the world of form and the world of spirit. Every time your mind tries to wander back to the stories of your pain, every time it tries to pull you back into the drama of who said what or why things happened the way they did, gently bring your attention back to this breath. The breath is always in the present moment. It cannot happen in the past. It cannot happen in the future. It is the only thing that is truly happening right now. By staying with the breath, you are staying in the sanctuary. You are staying in the light. Think about the nature of a mirror. A mirror reflects everything that passes before it. It reflects the beautiful flowers and the decaying leaves. It reflects the bright blue sky and the dark, heavy clouds. But the mirror itself is never changed by what it reflects. It does not become beautiful when it sees a flower, and it does not become ugly when it sees decay. It remains clear, bright, and empty. Your awareness is like that mirror. The emotional pain you feel is a reflection passing through the mirror of your mind. You have spent so much time identifying with the reflection that you have forgotten you are the mirror. You have thought you were the pain, when in reality, you are the space in which the pain is being felt. Tranquility is the realization that the mirror is always clean, no matter what it reflects. In this state of tranquility, the first light of awareness begins to illuminate the hidden corners of your suffering. You start to see the roots of your pain, not with a sense of blame, but with a sense of deep, compassionate curiosity. You see how your thoughts have been feeding the pain, like dry wood being thrown onto a fire. You see the stories you have told yourself about why you are hurting, and you realize that these stories are just words. They are not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are is the silence that exists between the words. It is the stillness that remains when the story ends. Imagine a single drop of water falling from the eaves of the temple roof. It falls slowly, catching the light as it descends. Watch it fall. It hits the surface of a small stone basin filled with clear water. The impact creates a series of ripples that spread outward, moving toward the edges of the basin. This is how an emotion works. An event happens, a word is spoken, a memory surfaces, and it drops into the stillness of your mind. The ripples are the feelings that follow. They are natural. They are inevitable. But notice what happens to the ripples. They do not last forever. They eventually reach the edge of the basin and disappear. The water returns to its natural state of stillness. Your mind is the same way. The pain creates ripples, but the nature of your mind is stillness. If you do not keep dropping more stones into the water, the ripples will eventually settle on their own. Tranquility is the act of not dropping more stones. It is the act of letting the water be. The quiet sanctuary of Zen is not a place where you hide from the world. It is a place where you prepare to meet the world with a different heart. As you sit here, you are learning how to be with your pain without being consumed by it. You are learning that you can feel a deep sadness and still be at peace. You can feel a sharp sting of disappointment and still be whole. This is the great paradox of the spiritual path. We do not find peace by getting rid of our problems. We find peace by changing our relationship to them. We become the temple that houses both the altar and the dust. We become the sky that holds both the sun and the storm. Consider the bamboo that grows just outside the temple walls. It is tall and slender, swaying gently in the breeze. When the wind blows hard, the bamboo bends. It bows low, sometimes touching the ground. But it does not break. It is flexible and hollow. Its strength comes from its ability to yield. Your emotional pain is like the wind. If you stand rigid and resist it, you will snap. But if you become like the bamboo, if you become hollow and allow the wind to blow through you, you will remain standing. To be hollow means to let go of the ego that says, "This should not be happening to me." It means letting go of the resistance that creates the second arrow. In the sanctuary of tranquility, you are learning how to be hollow. You are learning how to let the pain move through you without leaving a scar. The light in the sanctuary is growing slightly brighter now. It is no longer just a faint glow, but a steady, warm radiance that fills the entire room. This light represents your growing wisdom. Wisdom is the understanding that everything is impermanent. This pain you feel, as solid as it seems right now, is subject to the law of change. It arose because of certain conditions, and it will pass away when those conditions change. Nothing in this world is permanent. Not the mountains, not the stars, and certainly not your emotions. When you truly understand this, the pain loses its grip on you. You realize that you are watching a passing show. You are the audience, not the actor. You are the witness, not the victim. Spend a few moments now simply observing the physical sensations in your body. Do not try to change them. Do not try to make them go away. Just notice them. Perhaps there is a tightness in your chest. Notice the texture of that tightness. Is it hard, like a knot, or is it heavy, like a stone? Perhaps there is a dull ache in your shoulders. Notice where it begins and where it ends. As you bring the light of awareness to these sensations, you might notice that they start to shift. They might tingle, or vibrate, or dissolve into a different feeling. This is the first light of awareness at work. By simply being present with the sensation, you are taking away its power to overwhelm you. You are seeing it for what it is, a temporary movement of energy in the body. The silence in this sanctuary is not empty. It is a full silence, a silence that is pregnant with possibility. It is the silence of a forest before the first bird sings. It is the silence of a mother watching her sleeping child. In this silence, you can hear the whispers of your own soul. You can hear the part of you that has never been hurt, the part of you that is eternal and untouched by the dramas of your life. This part of you is like the deep ocean. The surface may be whipped into a frenzy by the wind, but the depths remain calm, cool, and silent. You are beginning to sink into those depths now. You are moving below the waves of your emotional pain, down into the vast blue stillness of your true nature. As you sit in this tranquility, you may feel a sense of relief washing over you. It is the relief of finally stopping the fight. You have been at war with your emotions for so long. You have been trying to fix yourself, to cure yourself, to rid yourself of the things that make you feel uncomfortable. But here, in the Zen sanctuary, there is no war. There is only acceptance. There is only the realization that you are already enough. You do not need to be different than you are in this moment to be worthy of peace. The pain does not disqualify you from tranquility. In fact, the pain is the very thing that led you to seek this sanctuary. It is the teacher that brought you to the door. Think of the lotus flower. It grows in the mud at the bottom of a pond. The mud is thick, dark, and murky. It is not a place where you would expect something beautiful to grow. But the lotus pushes through the mud, stretching upward through the water until it reaches the surface and opens its petals to the sun. The lotus does not hate the mud. It does not try to escape the mud. It uses the nutrients in the mud to fuel its growth. Your emotional pain is your mud. It is the raw material of your transformation. Without the pain, you would have no reason to seek the light. Without the mud, there would be no lotus. Tranquility is the act of sitting in the mud and knowing that you are the flower. The first light of awareness is now touching the very center of your being. It is a warm, golden glow that radiates from your heart outward to every cell of your body. This light is compassion. It is the natural response of the heart when it encounters suffering. As you look at your own pain, feel a sense of tenderness rising within you. Treat your pain as you would treat a small, frightened animal that has wandered into your garden. You would not shout at it or kick it. You would sit quietly near it, offering it your presence and your warmth. You would let it know that it is safe. This is how we heal. We do not heal by cutting out the parts of ourselves we don't like. We heal by folding them into the embrace of our own compassion. In this state of deep tranquility, the boundaries between you and the world begin to soften. You realize that your pain is not just your pain, it is the pain of the world. Everyone you meet is carrying their own stones in their own gardens. Everyone is struggling with their own versions of grief, fear, and longing. This realization does not make your pain heavier. Instead, it makes it lighter. It connects you to the rest of humanity. You are no longer alone in your suffering. You are part of a great, vast tapestry of being. Your tranquility becomes a gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone you encounter. When you are at peace, you bring peace to the world. The sanctuary of Zen is always here for you. It does not go away when you open your eyes or when you go back to your daily life. It is a room within your heart that you can enter at any time. All you have to do is take a breath and remember. Remember the polished wood floors. Remember the scent of the incense. Remember the first light of awareness. Remember that you are the mirror, not the reflection. Remember that you are the mountain, not the storm. As you prepare to move deeper into the next phase of this journey, take a moment to express gratitude to yourself. Gratitude for having the courage to look at your pain. Gratitude for having the patience to sit in the silence. Gratitude for the light that is beginning to dawn. The journey from anxiety to deep sleep is a journey of returning home. You have already traveled so far. You have moved from the chaos of the external world into the quiet sanctuary of the mind. You have found the center. You have seen the first light. Now let that light grow. Let it fill every corner of your consciousness. Let it dissolve the last remaining shadows of resistance. You are safe. You are held. You are at peace. The tranquility you feel now is not a fleeting emotion. It is the fundamental reality of who you are. It is the ground upon which you stand. It is the air that you breathe. Rest in this tranquility. Let it soak into your bones. Let it quiet your mind and soothe your spirit. The world outside may continue to turn, the winds may continue to blow, but here, in the sanctuary of Zen, there is only the eternal present. There is only the breath. There is only the light. As the light of awareness continues to shine, you notice that the garden outside the temple has become even more vibrant. The stones seem to glow with an inner life. The sand reflects the golden hues of the dawn. The bamboo sways in a perfect, effortless dance. Everything is in its right place. Everything is as it should be. Even the pain, even the sorrow, even the confusion. They are all part of the great unfolding mystery of your life. You no longer need to understand it all. You no longer need to have all the answers. You only need to be here. You only need to be present. The silence deepens. It becomes a profound, velvet stillness that wraps around you like a cocoon. In this stillness, you can feel your heart beating, a steady, rhythmic pulse that echoes the pulse of the universe. You are not separate from the world. You are the world. You are the stars and the earth, the ocean and the sky. Your pain is just a small wave on the surface of your infinite being. And that wave is now beginning to subside. It is returning to the ocean. It is becoming one with the deep, silent waters. Continue to sit in this sanctuary for as long as you need. There is no hurry. There is no place else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to do. You have reached the state of tranquility. The first light of awareness has dawned, and the path ahead is clear. You are moving toward a rest so deep, a sleep so profound, that all the burdens of the world will fall away. But for now, just be here. In the quiet, in the light, in the peace of your own true nature. The sanctuary is open. The light is steady. You are home. As you remain in this space, let your mind become like a clear mountain lake. The surface is perfectly still, reflecting the sky and the trees with absolute clarity. If a thought arises, it is like a bird flying over the lake. Its reflection appears on the water for a moment, and then it is gone. The lake does not try to hold on to the reflection. It does not try to keep the bird from flying away. It simply remains still, ready to reflect whatever comes next. This is the essence of Zen tranquility. It is a state of open, effortless awareness. It is a state of being fully alive and fully at peace, all at the same time. Feel the warmth of the light on your skin. Feel the coolness of the wooden floor beneath you. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. You are the sanctuary. You are the light. You are the peace. Everything you have been looking for is already here, within you, waiting to be discovered. You do not need to go anywhere else. You do not need to become anyone else. You are already the lotus. You are already the mountain. You are already the silence. In this profound quiet, the echoes of your emotional pain are becoming softer and softer. They are like the fading notes of a bell that was struck long ago. The sound is still there, but it is so faint that it no longer disturbs the silence. It has become a part of the silence. It has been integrated into the peace. This is the teaching of Buddhism. We do not destroy our pain, we transform it. We alchemize it into wisdom and compassion. We take the lead of our suffering and turn it into the gold of awakening. And so, you sit, a silent monk in the temple of your own mind, a witness to the dawning of your own light, a traveler who has finally found the path home. The journey continues, but the struggle is over. The peace has begun. Stay in this peace, bathe in this light, breathe in this tranquility. You are exactly where you need to be. You are doing exactly what you need to do. You are simply being. And in this being, everything is resolved. Everything is healed. Everything is at rest. Welcome to this sacred space of reflection and rest. You have traveled through the storms of the mind and the shadows of the heart to arrive here in this moment of stillness. I am your guide, a simple monk walking beside you on the path to inner peace. Tonight, we leave behind the frantic whispers of the world and enter the quiet sanctuary of the soul. We are moving deeper into the landscape of tranquility, where the questions of the mind meet the silence of the heart. Here, there is no need to hurry and no need to hide. We are simply present with what is. As you settle into your breath, feel the weight of your body supported by the earth. Let the rhythm of your breathing become the song of the universe. We are embarking on a journey into the core of understanding, where ancient wisdom meets your modern life. The evening sun has dipped below the jagged peaks of the distant mountains, leaving behind a sky the color of crushed plums and cooling embers. In the high mountain monastery of the Zen masters, the air is thin and sharp, carrying with it the scent of ancient cedar trees and the faint, sweet trail of sandalwood incense. You are there, standing on the weathered wooden veranda that encircles the meditation hall. The wood is smooth beneath your feet, polished by the footsteps of thousands of seekers who have walked this path before you. Each board tells a story of patience and persistence. You can feel the coolness of the evening rising from the stone gardens below, where the raked sand flows like a frozen river around moss-covered boulders. This is the place where we begin our deeper inquiry into the nature of breath, emotional pain. It is not a place of battle, but a place of profound looking. In the tradition of Zen, there is a tool used to break the iron grip of the logical mind. It is called a koan. A koan is not a riddle to be solved with the intellect. It is a gateway, a barrier that can only be passed when the small self, the ego that clings to its pain, finally lets go. In this quiet hour, as the shadows lengthen and the first stars begin to blink in the velvet sky, we consider the story of a young monk named Toyo. Toyo was diligent and sincere, much like you. He carried within him a great desire to understand the truth of his own suffering. He saw the pain of the world and the pain in his own heart, and he wanted to find the key that would unlock the door to liberation. He went to his teacher, a master of great stillness, and asked for a way to see beyond the veil of his own confusion. The master looked at Toyo with eyes that were as clear and deep as a mountain lake. He did not give Toyo a long lecture or a list of rules to follow. Instead, he gave him a task that seemed impossible. He told the young monk to go to the bell tower and listen to the sound of 2 hands clapping. Toyo did this. He heard the sharp, sudden crack of palms meeting. It was a sound that filled the air and then vanished into the silence. He returned to the master and said he understood the nature of sound and silence. But the master shook his head and gave him the true koan. He said, "You have heard the sound of 2 hands. Now, show me the sound of 1 hand clapping." Toyo retreated to his small cell. The room was simple, containing only a straw mat, a small low table, and a single candle. He sat in the darkness, the flame of the candle dancing slightly in the draught. He began to ponder the sound of 1 hand. At first, his mind raced. He thought perhaps the sound of 1 hand was the sound of the wind whistling through the pine needles. He went to the master the next morning and imitated the sound of the wind. The master shook his head. No, that is not it. Toyo went back and listened to the dripping of water from the eaves after a light rain. He returned and mimicked the sound of the droplets hitting the stone basin. Again, the master shook his head. That is just the sound of water. Show me the sound of one hand. This process continued for weeks, then months. Toyo suggested the sound of a cricket, the sound of a distant temple bell, the sound of his own breathing. Each time, the master rejected his answer. We must look at what was happening inside Toyo during this time. This is where we find the teaching on emotional pain. As Toyo struggled to find the sound of one hand, he began to feel a deep sense of frustration. He felt like a failure. He felt the weight of his own inadequacy pressing down on his chest. This frustration is the same pain we feel when we try to solve our emotional problems with our thinking minds. We try to find a reason for our sadness. We try to find a logic for our grief. We look for an external sound, an external solution to quiet the internal ache. The seasons began to turn. The vibrant greens of summer faded into the burnt oranges and deep reds of autumn. The air grew colder, and the monks began to wear heavier robes of quilted cotton. Toyo sat in the meditation hall, his breath visible in the chilly air. He was no longer just looking for a sound. He was looking for the source of himself. He realized that as long as he was looking for a sound that was separate from him, he would never find the answer. He was the one hand. His pain was the one hand. His longing was the one hand. The master was forcing him to move beyond the duality of subject and object, of the sufferer and the suffering. When we experience emotional pain, we often treat it as an enemy that has invaded our home. We see ourselves as the victim and the pain as the attacker. This is the sound of two hands clapping. There is the me and there is the pain. They clash together, creating a loud, discordant noise that disturbs our peace. We spend all our energy trying to stop the hands from hitting each other. We try to pull them apart, or we try to numb them so they cannot feel the impact. But the koan asks us to find the sound of one hand. It asks us to find the place where there is no separation between the observer and the observed. Imagine yourself sitting where Toyo sat. The monastery is silent now, draped in a blanket of freshly fallen snow. The world outside is muffled, as if the earth itself has held its breath. You are sitting on your cushion, and that old, familiar pain arises in your heart. Perhaps it is a dull ache of loneliness, or a sharp pang of regret, or a heavy cloud of anxiety. Instead of trying to push it away, or trying to explain it, or trying to find the sound of its clapping, you simply sit with it. You become the pain. You stop being the person who has the pain, and you become the sensation itself. You look at it with the same curiosity that Toyo used to listen to the wind. Toyo reached a point of great exhaustion. His mind had run out of ideas. He had exhausted every possible sound in the physical world. He had exhausted every philosophical concept he had ever learned. He was left with nothing but the question itself. The question became a burning coal in his stomach. It was no longer a task given by a teacher. It was the only thing that mattered in the universe. This is what the Zen masters call the great doubt. It is the moment when the ego realizes it has no answers. It is a terrifying moment, but it is also the most hopeful moment of our lives. When the mind finally admits it does not know, the heart can finally begin to see. One evening, as the moon rose full and white over the snow-covered pines, Toyo was walking back to his cell. He was not thinking about the koan. He was not thinking about anything. He was simply walking. His feet made a soft, crunching sound in the snow. The air was so still that he could hear the sound of a single leaf falling from a branch. In that absolute stillness, something broke open inside him. He realized that the sound of one hand was not a sound at all. It was the silence from which all sounds arise. It was the space that allows the two hands to clap. It was the very fabric of existence that remains unchanged whether there is noise or silence, joy or sorrow. He went to the master, but he did not speak. He did not imitate the wind or the water. He simply stood before the master, his heart open, his mind as clear as the night sky. He bowed deeply, not out of obligation, but out of a profound recognition of the truth. The master smiled and nodded. Toyo had found it. He had found the sound of one hand. He had found the place where pain and peace are not two different things, but two expressions of the same underlying reality. What does this mean for you as you lie here in the gathering quiet? It means that your emotional pain is not a mistake. It is not a sign that you are broken. It is the one hand. Your joy is also the one hand. Your life is the one hand. When you stop trying to make the hands clap, when you stop trying to force your life to be something other than what it is in this moment, you hear the sound of the one hand. You find the tranquility that is not the absence of pain, but the spaciousness that includes the pain. Think of a vast ocean. On the surface, there may be crashing waves, whitecaps, and turbulent storms. This is the level of our emotions. Sometimes the waves are small and gentle, and sometimes they are towering and destructive. If you stay on the surface, you are at the mercy of the weather. You are tossed about, struggling to keep your head above water. But if you dive deep, down into the heart of the ocean, you find a place where the water is still and blue. The storms on the surface do not reach these depths. The pressure is constant, the silence is absolute. The ocean is both the crashing wave and the silent depth. It is one body of water. The sound of one hand is the realization that you are the ocean. You are not just the wave of sadness that is passing through you right now. You are the vast, deep, silent space that allows that wave to exist. When you identify only with the wave, you suffer. When you remember that you are the ocean, the wave no longer seems so threatening. It is just a movement of your own being. It rises, it peaks, and it dissolves back into the deep. It never leaves the ocean. It never truly separates itself. As you breathe now, feel that spaciousness within you. With every inhalation, imagine you are breathing in the cool, clear air of the mountain monastery. With every exhalation, imagine you are releasing the need to solve the riddle of your life. You do not need to find the answer. You are the answer. Your presence here, in this moment, is the sound of one hand. The way your heart beats without you telling it to, the way your lungs expand and contract, the way your thoughts drift like clouds across an empty sky, all of this is the effortless functioning of the universe. The pain you carry is often a result of the stories you tell about the pain. We tell ourselves that this pain will last forever. We tell ourselves that we are weak for feeling it. We tell ourselves that we must get rid of it before we can be happy. These stories are the second hand, reaching out to clap against the first hand of the sensation itself. If you can drop the story, if you can let the second hand fall away, you are left with only the sensation. And the sensation, when looked at closely, is just energy. It is a vibration in the body. It is a temporary tightening or a warmth or a coldness. It is not an enemy. It is just life moving through you. In the monastery, the monks practice a form of walking meditation called kinin. They walk very slowly, synchronizing each step with a breath. They are not going anywhere. They are just walking to walk. They are experiencing the movement of the body in space. This is how we can approach our emotional landscape. We walk through it slowly. We do not rush to the end of the forest. We notice the texture of the bark on the trees. We notice the way the light filters through the leaves. We notice the dampness of the earth. We notice the pain. We notice the peace. And we do not prefer one over the other. This is the core of tranquility. It is an evenness of mind that remains steady regardless of what arises. The master Hakuin, who made the koan of the one hand famous, used to say that meditation in the midst of activity is far superior to meditation in stillness. This means that the peace we find here, in the quiet of the night, is meant to be carried into the noise of the day. But first, we must deeply ground ourselves in this stillness. We must let the silence of the one hand become our home. Imagine your mind is like a clear mirror. When a bird flies in front of the mirror reflects the bird. It shows the colors of the feathers, the curve of the wings, the speed of the flight. But the mirror does not become the bird. When the bird flies away, the mirror remains empty and clear. It does not try to hold on to the image of the bird. It does not mourn its departure. Your awareness is that mirror. Emotional pain is the bird flying by. It may be a dark, heavy bird that lingers for a while. It may cast a long shadow. But it cannot stain the mirror. It cannot change the nature of the glass. Your true self, your original face, is the mirror. It is the silent observer that is always here, always clear, always at peace. The koan is a way to remind you of the mirror. It is a way to stop you from trying to grab the bird. As the candle in Toyo's cell burned down to a small pool of wax, he finally understood that there was nowhere to go and nothing to achieve. The enlightenment he sought was not a destination. It was the very ground he was sitting on. The emotional pain he had tried to escape was the very thing that led him to the door of liberation. Without the struggle, he would never have found the silence. Without the darkness, he would never have recognized the light. This is the alchemy of the soul. We take the leaden weight of our suffering and, through the fire of awareness, we transform it into the gold of wisdom. You may feel a tightness in your chest, or a heaviness in your stomach as you think about your own life. Do not turn away from it. This is your koan. This is your one hand. Look at it with kindness. Say to yourself, I see you. I feel you. You are welcome here. In this welcoming, the clapping stops. The conflict ends. You are no longer fighting yourself. You are no longer divided into the one who suffers and the one who wants to stop suffering. You are simply the space in which everything is happening. The night is deep now. The monastery is silent. The only sound is the occasional crack of a frozen branch in the woods or the soft hoot of an owl. These sounds do not break the silence. They define it. They are the ornaments of the stillness. Let your thoughts be the same. Let your feelings be the same. They are just ripples on the surface of your vast, quiet ocean. You are safe here. You are held by the same laws that hold the stars in their orbits and the seasons in their cycles. The tranquility we seek is not a fragile thing that can be broken by a loud noise or a difficult day. It is the indestructible nature of your own being. It is the sound of one hand that has been ringing since before you were born and will continue long after you are gone. It is the eternal present. In this present, there is no room for the past to haunt you or the future to worry you. There is only this breath, this heartbeat, this moment of being. Toyo lived the rest of his life with a quiet joy. He did not become a different person. He still felt the cold of winter and the heat of summer. He still felt the sting of loss and the warmth of friendship. But he was no longer a slave to his reactions. He had heard the sound of one hand, and it had set him free. He knew that whatever happened on the surface of his life, the depths remained undisturbed. He walked through the world with a light step, his heart reflecting the beauty and the sorrow of existence without being burdened by either. As you prepare to move deeper into relaxation, let the story of Toyo settle into your bones. Let the question of the one hand dissolve your certainties and your worries. You do not need to find the answer tonight. You only need to rest in the question. You only need to be the silence that hears the question. The bed you lie on is your meditation mat. The darkness of the room is your temple. The rhythm of your breath is your mantra. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Your pain is teaching you. Your peace is healing you. You are the student and the master, the question and the answer. You are the one hand clapping in the point, vastness of the void. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fix. There is only the long, slow, beautiful process of awakening to who you truly are. The light of the moon spills across the floor of your mind, illuminating the dusty corners and the hidden places. It shines with a gentle, non-judgmental glow. It sees everything and accepts everything. Be like that moonlight. Let your awareness touch your pain with that same soft light. Do not try to change it, just let it be seen. In the seeing, the transformation begins. In the acceptance, the tranquility takes root. The journey of the soul is a long one, but it is made of single steps. You have taken a great step tonight. You have moved from the noise of the world into the silence of the heart. You have looked at the core of your suffering and found the possibility of peace. This peace is your birthright. It is the essence of your soul. It is the sound of one hand calling you home. Sleep now, in the cradle of this understanding. Let the waves of the ocean carry you down into the deep, where the water is still and the silence is absolute. You are the ocean. You are the silence. You are the peace that passes all understanding. The night is long and the rest is deep. You are exactly where you need to be. You are doing exactly what you need to do. You are simply being. And in this being, the sound of one hand is the only sound there is. It is the sound of the universe breathing through you. It is the sound of love without an object. It is the sound of your own true home. As the world fades away and the boundaries of your body soften into the air around you, remember that you are never alone. The wisdom of the ages is within you. The strength of the mountains is within you. The clarity of the sky is within you. You are a part of everything, and everything is a part of you. The one hand is always clapping, and the silence is always waiting. Rest now. Rest in the sound. Rest in the silence. Rest in the one. Welcome back to this sacred space of stillness. You have traveled through the valley of understanding and listened to the sound of one hand clapping. Now, the light is changing. The deep indigo of the midnight sky is beginning to soften into a pale, translucent violet. We are entering a new phase of our journey together. This is the stage of tranquility, where the turbulent waters of the heart begin to settle and become clear. We are here to learn the art of cleaning the mirror of the soul. In this hour, we do not seek to change who we are, but rather to see who we have always been beneath the layers of dust and shadow. Let your breath be your guide as we step into the quiet courtyard of the morning. You are safe. You are held. You are becoming clear. The morning air in the mountain temple is thin and sharp, carrying the scent of damp cedar and the faint, lingering sweetness of last night's incense. As you open your eyes within this vision, you find yourself standing on a veranda of polished, dark wood. The wood is cool beneath your feet, a grounding sensation that connects you to the earth and the ancient trees that gave their life for this structure. Before you lies a courtyard filled with fine white gravel, raked into perfect concentric circles that ripple outward like the surface of a pond disturbed by a single pebble. In the center of this courtyard stands a tall, ancient mirror made of polished bronze. It is held within a frame of weathered oak, carved with the likeness of lotus flowers and drifting clouds. The mirror does not reflect the world with the harsh, clinical sharpness of glass. Instead, it offers a warm, golden glow, a soft interpretation of reality that seems to hold the light rather than simply bouncing it back. As you approach the mirror, you notice that its surface is not clear. A fine layer of dust has settled upon it, a grey veil that obscures the golden light within. This dust is not an enemy. It is simply the result of time and the movement of the world. In the teachings of the Zen masters, this mirror represents your original mind, your true nature, which is naturally bright and pure. The dust represents the emotional pain, the anxieties, the regrets, and the many thoughts that settle upon us as we move through our lives. We often mistake the dust for the mirror itself. We look at our reflection and see only the grey haze of our suffering, and we think, "I am this pain." But today, we are here to remember that the mirror remains perfect and untouched beneath the surface. The pain is a guest, the mirror is the host. You reach out and touch the frame of the mirror. The wood is textured, etched with the stories of 1,000 seasons. You hold a soft cloth of unbleached silk in your hand. It is light, almost weightless, like a cloud captured in fabric. To clean the mirror of the soul is not an act of violence. It is not a scrubbing or a scouring. It is a gesture of profound gentleness. You begin at the very top, moving your hand in a slow, rhythmic circle. As the silk brushes against the bronze, you hear a faint, melodic hum, as if the metal itself is singing a low note of gratitude. With the first stroke, a small patch of golden light breaks through the grey. It is a revelation. Even this tiny sliver of clarity changes the way the courtyard looks. You see the reflection of a single pine needle suspended in the air as it falls toward the gravel. Consider the nature of this dust. Each speck is a thought that you held onto for too long. Perhaps it is a memory of a moment when you felt unloved, or a day when the weight of the world felt too heavy to bear. We carry these moments with us, and they settle upon our internal vision, coloring everything we see. When we look through the dust of old anger, the world appears hostile. When we look through the dust of old sorrow, the world appears grey and drained of joy. But as you continue to move the silk cloth, you realize that the dust is not stuck. It is not part of the mirror. It yields easily to the presence of your awareness. You are not trying to fix your soul. You are simply allowing it to be seen. You breathe in, and the cool air fills your lungs. You breathe out, and your hand moves in another slow, graceful arc. The silence in the courtyard is profound. It is not an empty silence, but a full one, vibrating with the life of the mountain. You can hear the distant trickle of a stream and the soft rustle of the wind through the bamboo grove. These sounds do not disturb the silence. They define it. In the same way, the thoughts that drift through your mind do not have to disturb your tranquility. You are beginning to find the beauty in the gaps between your thoughts. Between the thought of what you must do tomorrow and the memory of what happened yesterday, there is a space. It is a tiny sliver of time, a fraction of a second, where there is no story, no identity, and no pain. It is the silence of the mirror. As you clean, you begin to focus more on these gaps. You notice the stillness that exists after your hand finishes a stroke and before it begins the next. In this stillness, the emotional pain you have been carrying begins to change its shape. It no longer feels like a solid, heavy stone in your chest. Instead, it begins to feel like a mist. Mist is real, it is visible, and it can be cold to the touch, but it has no substance. You can walk right through it. You realize that your pain is made of the same stuff as your dreams and your thoughts. It is a temporary formation of energy. By cleaning the mirror, you are practicing the art of non-attachment. You see the dust, you acknowledge the dust, and you gently move it aside. You do not hate the dust. You do not judge yourself for having a dusty mirror. You simply recognize that the dust is not you. The sun is rising higher now, and the light is turning from violet to a warm, buttery gold. The shadows of the pine trees stretch long across the gravel. You move your cloth to the center of the mirror. Here, the dust is thicker, representing the core beliefs we hold about our own unworthiness or our fears of the future. This is the place where the heart feels most guarded. You slow your movements even further. You become aware of the warmth of your own palm through the silk cloth. You feel the beating of your heart, a steady, rhythmic drum that has been playing since before you were born. This heartbeat is the rhythm of the universe itself. It is the same rhythm that moves the tides and rotates the planets. When you align your movements with this rhythm, the act of cleaning becomes a meditation. You are not just cleaning a piece of metal, you are tending to the altar of your own existence. You are saying to yourself, I am worthy of clarity. I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of being seen as I truly are. As the center of the mirror begins to shine, you see your own eyes reflected back at you. They are not the eyes of a person who is defined by pain. They are the eyes of a witness. They are deep and clear, like mountain lakes. You look into your own reflection and you offer yourself a smile of recognition. You are the one who has survived. You are the one who has sought the path of healing. You are the one who is brave enough to sit in the silence. The beauty of the silence between thoughts is like the beauty of the sky between the clouds. We often spend our lives looking at the clouds, studying their shapes, fearing the storms they might bring, or mourning the way they block the sun. But the sky is always there, vast and blue and unchanging. The clouds are just passing through. Your emotional pain is a cloud. Your tranquility is the sky. As you polish the mirror, you are making more room for the sky. You are realizing that you do not need to fight the clouds. You only need to remember the sky. The silence is not a lack of something. It is the presence of everything. It is the womb of all creativity and the source of all peace. As you reach the lower part of the mirror, your movements become almost liquid. The cloth glides over the bronze with no resistance. You are no longer thinking about the act of cleaning. You have become the cleaning. There is no longer a you, a cloth, and a mirror. There is only the flow of motion and the emergence of light. This is what the Zen masters call the state of no mind. It is a state where the ego falls away and you are simply a part of the unfolding moment. In this state, emotional pain cannot find a place to take root. Pain requires a self to cling to. It requires a story to sustain it. But here, in the golden reflection of the morning sun, there is no story. There is only the cool wood beneath your feet, the warmth of the sun on your back, and the shimmering brilliance of the bronze. You notice a small bird land on the edge of the oak frame. It is a tiny creature with feathers the color of moss and a bright, inquisitive eye. It looks at its own reflection in the newly cleaned mirror and lets out a short, cheerful trill. The sound echoes through the courtyard, a perfect pearl of noise in the sea of silence. The bird does not wonder if it is beautiful. It does not regret the seeds it failed to find yesterday. It does not worry about the hawk that might appear tomorrow. It simply is. It exists completely in the present moment. You watch the bird, and you feel a profound sense of kinship with it. You too can simply be. You can exist in this moment without the weight of your history or the shadow of your destiny. The mirror is almost entirely clear now. Only the very edges remain to be polished. You take a deep breath, drawing in the scent of the earth and the sky. The air feels different now, lighter and more vibrant. You move your hand to the outer rim, where the carvings of the lotus flowers meet the metal. You trace the shape of a petal with your thumb, feeling the intricate detail of the wood. The lotus is a symbol of the soul's journey. It grows in the mud, in the dark, murky depths of the pond. It must push through the weight of the water and the silt to reach the surface. But when it finally breaks through, it opens its petals to the sun, pure and white and untouched by the mud from which it rose. Your emotional pain is the mud. It is the necessary environment for your growth. Without the mud, the lotus cannot bloom. Without your struggles, you would not have the depth and the compassion that you possess today. You realize that you do not need to wash away the mud of your past. You only need to rise above it. The mirror does not judge the dust it once held. It does not feel diminished by the time it spent in the shadows. It simply accepts the light when the light arrives. You finish the last corner of the mirror and step back. The transformation is breathtaking. The entire courtyard is now reflected in the bronze, but it is a courtyard seen through the lens of a dream. The white gravel looks like a field of diamonds. The green of the pines is deep and soulful. The blue of the sky is so intense it feels like a physical sensation. And in the center of it all is you. You stand before the mirror and you look at yourself. You see the lines of your face, each one a map of a journey you have taken. You see the softness of your shoulders as they finally drop away from your ears. You see the stillness in your hands. You are no longer the person who entered this courtyard. You are the mirror. You are the light. You are the silence. You realize that the beauty you see in the reflection is not something the mirror created. It was always there, waiting to be revealed. The silence between your thoughts is not a void to be feared. It is a sanctuary to be inhabited. It is the place where you can go to rest when the world becomes too loud. The sun is now fully above the horizon, casting a brilliant, clear light over the entire temple complex. The shadows have retreated, and the world feels new, as if it has just been created this very second. You feel a sense of profound peace, a tranquility that goes deeper than just the absence of noise. It is a peace that comes from knowing that you are whole. You are not a collection of broken pieces trying to be glued back together. You are a single, luminous entity, as vast as the ocean and as simple as a blade of grass. You lay the silk cloth down on the wooden veranda. Your work here is done for now, but you know that the dust will return. The wind will blow, the seasons will change, and new thoughts will settle upon the surface of your mind. But you are no longer afraid of the dust. You know that you have the cloth. You know that you have the breath. You know that the mirror is always there, beneath the surface, waiting for you to return to it. You have learned that cleaning the soul is a daily practice, a gentle ritual of returning to the center. As you stand in the center of the courtyard, you close your eyes. Even with your eyes closed, you can feel the brightness of the mirror behind you. You can feel the silence of the mountain within you. You begin to walk slowly toward the edge of the courtyard, toward the path that leads deeper into the temple grounds. Each step is deliberate. You feel the shift of your weight from one foot to the other. You feel the way the air moves around your body. You are moving with a new kind of grace, the grace of someone who has seen their own true face. The path ahead is lined with ancient stone lanterns, their surfaces covered in soft green lichen. They stand like silent sentinels, marking the way toward even deeper rest. You are moving toward the phase of total relaxation, where the body and the mind dissolve into the great mystery of sleep. But for now, you simply enjoy the sensation of walking in tranquility. You are finding beauty in the way the light filters through the leaves, creating a mosaic of gold and shadow on the ground. You are finding beauty in the sound of your own steady breathing. You are finding beauty in the simple fact of your existence. The emotional pain that once felt like a storm has become a gentle rain, nourishing the soil of your being. It has lost its power to hurt you because you have stopped fighting it. You have allowed it to be what it is, and in doing so, you have allowed yourself to be what you are. You are the space in which the pain happens. You are the silence in which the sound arises. You are the mirror in which the world is reflected. And the mirror is beautiful. The mirror is clear. The mirror is at peace. As you continue down the path, the sound of the world begins to fade. The trickle of the stream, the rustle of the bamboo, the call of the bird, all of it begins to merge into a single, low hum, like the vibration of a great bell that has just been struck. This is the sound of the universe at rest. It is the sound of the silence between thoughts, expanded until it fills everything. You are drifting on this sound, moving closer and closer to the heart of the temple, where the beds are soft and the shadows are deep. You feel a sense of lightness in your limbs, as if the gravity of the earth has lost its hold on you. Your thoughts are like distant stars, bright and beautiful, but far away. They do not demand your attention. They do not require your analysis. They simply exist in the vastness of your consciousness. You are the sky, and the stars are peaceful. You are the ocean, and the waves are still. You are the mirror, and the light is pure. The journey through the courtyard has taught you that tranquility is not something you find. It is something you reveal. It is the natural state of your soul when the dust of the world is brushed away. It is the beauty of the silence that has always been there, waiting for you to listen. As you prepare to move into the next stage of our journey, carry this clarity with you. Remember the golden glow of the bronze. Remember the softness of the silk. Remember the eyes that looked back at you from the reflection. You are entering a place of even deeper stillness now. The air is becoming cooler and more fragrant. The light is dimming, turning into a soft velvet grey. The path is ending, and a great door of carved sandalwood stands before you. Behind this door lies the chamber of deep sleep, the place where all journeys end and all stories dissolve. But as you stand before the door, take one last moment to appreciate the tranquility you have cultivated. You have cleaned the mirror, you have found the silence, you have seen the truth. The pain is gone, replaced by a vast, echoing peace. You are ready to rest. You are ready to let go of the last remnants of the day. You are ready to become the silence itself. The door opens slowly, revealing a room filled with the softest shadows and the scent of night-blooming jasmine. You step inside, and the world falls away. There is no more mirror, no more dust, no more courtyard. There is only the breath. There is only the stillness. There is only the deep, dark, beautiful peace of the soul at rest. As you settle into this darkness, remember that the mirror is still there, within you, shining in the dark. It does not need the sun to be bright. It is bright with its own light. You are that light. You are that peace. You are that silence. The night is long and the rest is deep. You have cleaned the mirror of your soul, and now you may sleep in the clarity of your own true nature. The silence between your thoughts has become a vast, welcoming ocean, and you are sinking into its depths, safe and sound and whole. Rest now. The mirror is clear. The soul is still. The silence is yours. The silence between your thoughts has become a vast and welcoming ocean, and you are sinking into its depths, safe and sound and whole. Rest now. The mirror is clear. The soul is still. The silence is yours. As you drift further into this sanctuary of the mind, you begin to notice a subtle change in the landscape of your being. The clarity you found in the stillness of the mirror was the first step, but now we must go deeper. We must move beyond the reflection and into the very substance of the world. You are lying here, and the boundary between your skin and the air is beginning to soften. It is as if the edges of your physical form are no longer sharp lines drawn in the sand, but are instead becoming like the mist that clings to the mountain peaks at dawn. This is the stage of profound relaxation, where the physical body begins its sacred return to the elements. In the teachings of the forest monks, we learn that we are not separate from the earth, but are a temporary expression of it. We are like a wave that rises from the sea only to return to the depths. For a moment, the wave has a name and a shape and a direction, but it never ceases to be the ocean. Emotional pain often lives in the tension of the wave, trying to stay a wave and refusing to become the sea again. We grip our identity, and we grip our suffering because we fear that without them we will disappear into nothingness. But tonight, We are learning that disappearing is not an end, but a homecoming. Feel the weight of your body as it rests upon the surface beneath you. Notice the points of contact where your heels touch the ground. Imagine that beneath those heels, the earth is soft and cool and infinitely patient. The earth has held the weight of mountains and the flow of rivers for millions of years, and it is more than ready to hold you. As you breathe out, let the weight of your feet sink just a fraction deeper. Think of the soles of your feet, those parts of you that have carried you through every storm and every sunny day. They have walked the paths of your sorrow and the halls of your joy. Now they have nowhere to go. There is no destination left to reach. The journey of the day is over, and the journey of the night is a journey inward. Let the muscles in your feet go completely slack. Imagine the tiny bones and the intricate tendons relaxing like a handful of silk ribbons dropped onto a bed of moss. The tension that you have carried in your stride, the hurry and the hesitation and the fatigue, is all draining out through your heels and into the dark, fertile soil below. The earth accepts this energy without judgment. It takes the heat of your movement and transforms it into the coolness of the deep ground. Move your awareness slowly up to your ankles and your calves. Feel the heavy muscles of the lower legs. These are the pillars that support your stance in the world. Often when we experience emotional pain, we brace ourselves through our legs as if we are preparing to run away or to stand our ground against a coming blow. But here, in this space, there is nothing to run from and nothing to fight. You are safe. You are held. Feel the calves becoming heavy like lead and then soft like water. Imagine the fibers of the muscles untwining and lengthening. The history of your movement, the places you have stood in grief and the places you have stood in hope, is all being released. You are letting go of the need to stand. You are letting go of the need to be upright. You are allowing the gravity of the planet to pull you into a state of total surrender. It is a beautiful gravity, a loving pull that says you do not have to hold yourself up anymore. I will hold you, says the earth. I have always been here beneath you, and I will never let you fall. As you move your attention to your knees and your thighs, feel the deep release in the largest muscles of your body. These muscles hold so much of our unconscious will. They hold our drive and our ambition and our desire to move forward. But tonight, there is no forward. There is only here. There is only now. Feel the thighs widening and sinking. Imagine the femur bones, the great white pillars of your strength, becoming porous and light. They are turning into the substance of the earth itself. They are becoming like the roots of an ancient cedar tree, deep and still and connected to the heartbeat of the world. Any pain that you have stored here, any tension from the many miles you have traveled, is dissolving. It is like salt in a warm bath. It simply vanishes into the surrounding medium. You are no longer a person with legs that carry a story. You are a part of the landscape. You are the gentle slope of a hill. You are the floor of a quiet forest. Now, bring your focus to your hips and your pelvic bowl. In the language of the body, this is often where we store our deepest emotions. It is the seat of our creative power, but also the place where we tuck away the things we cannot process. We hold our fear here, and we hold our old wounds here. We clench this part of ourselves as if we are trying to protect a secret treasure. But the secret is that there is nothing to protect. The pain you have held here is like a knot in a string. When you stop pulling at both ends, the knot begins to loosen on its own. Imagine a warm, golden light glowing in the center of your hips. This light is soft and pervasive, and it carries the quality of infinite kindness. As this light expands, it touches every tight corner and every hidden ache. It tells the body that it is okay to open. It is okay to let go of the grip. Feel the hips broadening and settling. The physical body is beginning to feel less like a solid object and more like a fluid state. You are melting into the surface beneath you. The boundary of the ego, the sense of "I am this body," is starting to thin. You are breathing with the earth. Your rhythm is the rhythm of the tides and the shifting of the tectonic plates. As we move into the torso, feel the rise and fall of your belly. This is the center of your breath, the source of your life force. When we are in pain, our breath becomes shallow and tight. We breathe as if we are afraid to take up space. But now, I want you to breathe as if you are the sky. There is plenty of room for you. There is plenty of room for your breath. Feel the belly soften completely. Let it be round and relaxed, like the belly of a sleeping child. There is no need to hold it in or to make it look a certain way. In this state of Zen, there is no performance. There is only the truth of the moment. With every inhale, feel the nourishment of the air entering your system. With every exhale, feel the release of the ego's control. The ego is the part of us that says, "I am hurting," or "I am sad," or "I am tired." It is a narrator that never stops talking. But as the body dissolves, the narrator's voice becomes distant and faint. It is like a bird singing in a forest 3 valleys away. You can hear it, but it does not disturb the silence where you are. Feel the rib cage and the chest. Within this cage of bones sits the heart. The heart is the organ that feels the sharpest edge of emotional pain. It can feel heavy like a stone or tight like a closed fist. We often talk about a broken heart, but in truth, the heart cannot be broken, only the shell we build. Around it can break, and that breaking is a blessing because it allows the light to get in. Imagine your heart now not as a muscle, but as a lotus flower floating on a still pond. The petals are beginning to open, one by one. As they open, the tightness in your chest evaporates. The sorrow that you have carried, the disappointments and the longings are all being released into the vastness of the space around you. They are no longer your burdens to carry. They are simply clouds passing through the sky of your awareness. The sky does not try to hold on to the clouds, and it does not try to push them away. It simply allows them to be, and eventually, they dissolve into the blue. Your heart is that sky. It is vast enough to hold everything and empty enough to be free. Move your attention to your spine. Feel each vertebra from the base of the skull down to the tailbone. The spine is the mast of our ship, the central axis of our being. It has worked so hard to keep you upright and moving through the world. Now give it permission to rest. Imagine the spine as a string of pearls resting on a piece of velvet. Each pearl is separate and relaxed. The nerves that branch out from the spine are like the delicate veins of a leaf. Feel them cooling and quietening. The electrical signals of stress and anxiety are fading away. The nervous system is switching from the mode of survival to the mode of being. You are moving from the state of doing to the state of existing. The ego, which thrives on doing, is losing its grip. It has nothing to do here. It has no problems to solve and no future to plan. It is becoming irrelevant. In its place, there is a deep and humming peace. Feel your shoulders. This is where we carry the weight of the world. We carry the expectations of others and the demands we place on ourselves. We wear our responsibilities like a heavy cloak. Tonight, take that cloak off. Let it fall to the floor. Your shoulders are dropping back and down. The space between your ears and your shoulders is widening. Feel the collarbones spreading. The upper back is sinking into the earth. You are becoming broader and flatter and more integrated with the ground. There is a sense of immense relief in this. It is the relief of finally putting down a burden you have carried for years without even realizing it. You don't have to be the one who holds it all together. The universe is holding itself together, and you are a part of that effortless process. Now feel the relaxation flowing down your arms. from the shoulders to the elbows, from the elbows to the wrists. Your arms are heavy and still. They are like the branches of a fallen tree resting in the tall grass. And your hands, those incredible tools of your will, are finally empty. Think of all the things your hands have grasped today, all the things they have touched and held and worked upon. Now the fingers are curling naturally and softly. There is no grip left in them. They are open and receptive. In Zen, we speak of the open hand of thought. When the hand is a fist, it can hold something, but it is also closed to everything else. When the hand is open, it holds nothing, but it can receive the whole world. Let your hands be open. Let the energy of your life flow out through your fingertips and merge with the air. You are no longer the one who acts. You are the space in which action happens. Bring your awareness to your neck and your throat. This is the bridge between the heart and the head. It is where we hold the words we did not say and the cries we held back. Feel the muscles of the throat softening. The swallow becomes easy. The breath moves through the windpipe like a gentle breeze through a hollow reed. There is no obstruction. There is no resistance. Any emotional pain that has been stuck here like a lump in the throat is being washed away by the steady flow of your relaxation. You are finding a different kind of voice, a voice of silence that speaks more clearly than words ever could. Finally, reach the head and the face. This is the most complex part of our physical identity. It is the mask we show to the world. It is where we perform our emotions. Feel the jaw unhinging. Let the teeth part slightly. The tongue is heavy and resting on the floor of the mouth. The lips are soft. The cheeks are smooth, as if a cool hand has just brushed over them. The tiny muscles around the eyes, those muscles that squint and frown and search for meaning, are all letting go. The eyelids are heavy, like lead curtains. Behind the eyes, the space is dark and vast. Feel the forehead smoothing out. The brow is no longer furrowed with the effort of thinking. The scalp is relaxing. Even the roots of your hair seem to let go. Your entire body, from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes, is now a field of soft, vibrating energy. The solid sense of being a body is fading. You are beginning to feel as though you are made of light, or of sound, or of the very space itself. This is the dissolution of the physical ego. When we are in deep emotional pain, we often feel trapped in our bodies. We feel the pain as a physical weight or a sharp contraction. But as you relax this deeply, you realize that the pain was never really in the flesh. It was in the resistance to the moment. Now that the resistance is gone, the pain has nowhere to land. It is like a bird trying to perch on the air. It cannot find a foothold. Imagine now that your body is slowly turning into fine golden sand. Starting at your feet, the sand is beginning to scatter. The wind of your breath is gently blowing the grains of sand away. Your legs are dissolving into the earth. Your hips and your torso are becoming part of the ground. Your arms and your hands are vanishing into the atmosphere. Your head and your face are merging with the darkness of the night. You are not dying, but you are returning to your true state. You are the elements. You are the earth that supports. You are the water that flows. You are the fire that warms. You are the air that moves. You are the space that contains it all. In this state of total relaxation, the ego has nothing to hold on to. The ego is a collection of memories and labels and stories. It says, I am a person who was hurt by this, or I am a person who lost that. But as the physical form dissolves, the stories lose their protagonist. If there is no body and no name, who is there to feel the pain? The pain is still there, perhaps as a lingering vibration in the field of awareness, but it is no longer your pain. It is just pain. It is just a part of the human experience, like the rain is a part of the weather. When you stop claiming the pain as your own, It loses its power to haunt you. It becomes a teacher instead of a tormentor. You are now floating in a state of pure being. There is no effort required to exist. You are being breathed by the universe. You are being held by the infinite. The relaxation is so deep that it feels like a kind of sleep, but you are still aware. You are aware of the silence. You are aware of the peace. You are aware of the profound freedom that comes from letting go of the self. This is the heart of the Buddhist teaching on emotional pain. We suffer because we try to keep things as they are. We suffer because we try to protect a self that is constantly changing. But when we allow ourselves to dissolve, when we accept the flow of change, then we find the peace that passes all understanding. The world of form is far away now. The sounds of the night, the distant barking of a dog, the rustle of leaves, the hum of the house, are all just ripples on the surface of your vast inner ocean. You are the depth where it is always still. You are the silence that underlies every sound. The emotional pain that brought you here, that heavy cloud that seemed so solid, has been thinned out by the light of your awareness. It is becoming transparent. You can see through it now to the eternal sky beyond. You are learning that you are not the cloud, you are the sky. As you continue to drift in this state of dissolution, feel the profound rest that is occurring in every cell of your being. This is not just a physical rest, but a spiritual one. You are resting from the labor of being a person. You are resting from the work of maintaining an identity. For these moments, you are nothing, and in being nothing, you are everything. You are the totality of the existence. There is no separation, there is no boundary. There is only the flow. The earth beneath you is warm and welcoming. It has waited for you to come home to this realization. It welcomes your physical form back into its embrace. It takes your weariness and gives you strength. It takes your sorrow and gives you peace. You are like a seed buried in the dark earth, waiting for the right moment to grow. But for now, the darkness is exactly where you need to be. It is a nurturing darkness. It is the womb of the universe. Your breath has become so soft that it is almost undetectable. It is like the movement of a single leaf in a windless forest. Every exhale is a surrender. Every inhale is a gift. You are participating in the great rhythm of the cosmos. The stars above are far away, and yet they are within you. The light of 1,000 suns is contained in the space of your heart. You are vast. You are ancient. You are free. The grip of the ego is gone. The hands of the mind have opened, and everything they were holding has fallen away. What remains is the truth. What remains is the peace. What remains is the love that has no object and no limit. This is the relaxation of the soul. This is the end of the struggle. You have allowed the body to dissolve, and in doing so, you have found the part of you that can never be dissolved. You have found the eternal. As we prepare to move into the next phase of our journey into the deepest sleep, carry this sense of weightlessness with you. Remember that you do not have to carry the world. You are the world. You do not have to fix your pain. You only have to allow it to be seen, and then allow it to dissolve into the vastness of your true nature. You are safe. You are whole. You are at peace. The earth has you. The sky has you. The silence has you. Sleep now in the knowledge that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The journey is long, but the rest is deep. The ego has let go, and the soul is finally free to dream the dream of the infinite. Rest. Dissolve. Be. All is well. All is as it should be. The light of your true self is shining in the dark, and it is enough. It is more than enough. It is everything. Welcome back to the quiet sanctuary of your own heart. We have traveled through the storms of anxiety and found the still point of tranquility. Now we enter a deeper valley. This is the phase of relaxation where we learn to taste the nectar of wisdom. Think of your emotional pain not as a poison, but as the raw material for a great medicine. In this space, the sharp edges of your struggle begin to soften. You are like a river that has finally reached the plains, slowing down, spreading out, and reflecting the vastness of the sky. Let us walk together through this garden of the soul, where every tear you have shed becomes a drop of dew on a lotus petal. Take a deep, slow breath and let the journey continue. Imagine a small, weathered wooden gate at the edge of an ancient forest. The wood is silvered by age and the touch of 1,000 rains. As you place your hand upon it, you feel the grain of the cedar, the roughness and the smoothness coexisting in a single piece of nature. This gate marks the entrance to the path of relaxation. As you push it open, it makes no sound, for the hinges have been oiled by the silence of the mountain. You step through, and the air changes. It is cooler here, scented with the deep, earthy perfume of damp moss and the sweet, lingering fragrance of wild jasmine. This is the place where your struggles begin to transform. You are no longer fighting the current of your life. You are learning to float upon it. The path beneath your feet is soft, covered in a carpet of fallen pine needles and silver lichen. Each step you take is a deliberate act of letting go. Feel the way your weight shifts from the heel to the ball of the foot and finally to the toes. With every step, imagine that you are pressing the tension of your day into the earth, and the earth, in its infinite kindness, is absorbing it, turning it into the soil for future flowers. There is no rush here. The trees do not hurry to grow, and the clouds do not hurry to pass. They simply exist in a state of perfect, relaxed unfolding. You are invited to do the same. As you walk deeper into this forest of the mind, you hear the distant melodic sound of water. It is a gentle, rhythmic splashing, like the laughter of a child or the chanting of a distant monk. You follow the sound, your body feeling lighter with every breath. You are moving toward the stream of lessons. In Buddhism, we are taught that our emotional pain is not a mistake. It is not a sign that something is wrong with us. Rather, it is the mud from which the lotus of our wisdom grows. Without the mud, there can be no flower. Without the struggle, there can be no depth of understanding. You reach the bank of the stream. The water is crystal clear, flowing over smooth, rounded stones of grey, blue, and ochre. You sit down on a large, flat rock that has been warmed by the afternoon sun. The warmth of the stones seeps through your clothing, relaxing the muscles of your thighs, your hips, and your lower back. You watch the water move. It does not argue with the rocks in its path. It does not try to push them out of the way. It simply flows around them, adapting its shape, finding the path of least resistance. The water knows that eventually it will wear the sharp edges of the stone into smoothness. This is the nectar of wisdom. It is the realization that your pain, when met with the soft, flowing water of your awareness, eventually loses its ability to hurt you. It becomes a part of the landscape, a beautiful, rounded memory that no longer cuts the skin of your soul. Observe a single leaf that has fallen into the stream. It does not struggle to stay afloat. It does not try to swim upstream to a time before it fell. It surrenders to the flow. It moves through the shadows of the overhanging ferns and then into the bright patches of sunlight that filter through the canopy. Your emotions are like that leaf. They come, they stay for a while, and they go. When we try to grab the leaf, we get wet and cold. When we try to stop the leaf, we create a dam that causes the water to stagnate. But when we simply watch the leaf move, we remain at peace on the bank. Think of a specific emotional pain you have been carrying. Perhaps it is a sense of loss, a feeling of being misunderstood, or a quiet, nagging loneliness. Instead of looking at this pain as an enemy, look at it as a guest who has come to teach you something. In the light of relaxation, This guest looks different. The anger might actually be a protector, showing you where your boundaries were crossed. The sadness might be a healer, showing you how much you are capable of loving. The nectar of wisdom is the ability to extract these lessons without being consumed by the fire of the emotion itself. As you sit by the stream, you begin to breathe in the mist that rises from the water. This mist is cool and refreshing. As you inhale, imagine this cool light entering your nostrils, traveling down your throat and filling your lungs. With every inhalation, you are breathing in clarity. With every exhalation, you are releasing the heat of your struggles. Feel your shoulders drop an inch further away from your ears. Feel the tiny muscles around your eyes relax, smoothing out the lines of worry. Feel your jaw loosen, the tongue resting softly in the floor of your mouth. There is nothing to say, nothing to defend, and nothing to prove. You are simply a witness to the flowing stream of your own existence. The sun begins to dip lower in the sky, casting long golden shadows across the forest floor. The light is soft and honey-colored, turning the water into a ribbon of liquid gold. This is the golden hour of the soul, where everything is illuminated by the wisdom of impermanence. You realize that just as the light is changing, your pain is also changing. It is not a solid, unchanging block of granite. It is a series of moments, a collection of sensations, a flicker of thoughts. And because it is made of moments, it has no permanent power over you. It is as fluid as the water, as shifting as the shadows. There is a story of an old monk who lived by a waterfall. People would come from far away to ask him how to deal with their suffering. He would always offer them a cup of tea. He would brew the tea slowly, with great care, using water from the waterfall. When the visitors would complain about their lives, he would simply point to the tea leaves at the bottom of the cup. He would say that the tea leaves are bitter on their own, but when they meet the boiling water and are allowed to rest, they create a drink that sustains the spirit. Your pain is the tea leaf. Your life is the water. And this moment of relaxation is the resting period that allows the bitterness to turn into nourishment. Drink deeply from this cup of relaxation now. Feel the nectar moving through your body. It moves into your chest, softening the space around your heart. Many of us carry a shield around our hearts to protect ourselves from pain. But in this forest, you are safe. You can let the shield crumble. You can let the heart be open and soft, like a rose opening to the morning sun. An open heart can feel pain, yes, but it can also feel the immense beauty of the world. It can feel the connection to the trees, the water, and the distant stars. When you are relaxed, the heart becomes like the sky. Clouds of emotion may pass through, but the sky itself remains vast, blue, and untouched. Now, let us bring this relaxation into every corner of your physical being. Imagine the nectar of wisdom as a warm, golden liquid, flowing from the top of your head. It touches the crown of your head, and all the busy thoughts of the day begin to dissolve like sugar in warm water. The nectar flows over your forehead, washing away the tension of deep thought. It flows over your temples and your ears, calming the sounds of the world. It flows over your cheeks and your lips, bringing a faint, peaceful smile to your face. This is the smile of the Buddha, the smile that comes from knowing that all things pass and that you are held in the palm of the infinite. The nectar flows down into your neck and your throat. This is where we often hold the words we did not say, the truths we were afraid to speak. Feel the nectar softening these knots. Feel your throat opening, becoming a clear channel for your breath. The golden light moves into your shoulders, the place where you carry the weight of your responsibilities. Feel that weight sliding off your shoulders and sinking into the earth. You do not have to carry the world. The world is carrying you. Your shoulders feel light, almost as if they could turn into wings. The nectar flows down your arms, through your elbows, and into your wrists and hands. Your hands, which do so much work, which grasp and hold and pull, are now invited to simply rest. Your fingers curl naturally, softly. There is no need to hold on to anything. Not your possessions, not your opinions, not even your identity. For this moment, you are just a presence, a point of awareness in the vast, quiet forest. The golden nectar flows into your torso. It fills your lungs, making every breath feel like a gift. It flows into your heart, and you feel a gentle warmth spreading through your chest. This warmth is the nectar of compassion. It is the wisdom that understands that everyone is fighting a hard battle, and that your pain is the same as the pain of all humanity. In this relaxation, you are not alone. You are part of a great, breathing tapestry of life. The nectar flows down into your stomach, the center of your emotions. If there is any tightness there, any knot of anxiety, feel it beginning to unravel. The nectar bathes your internal organs in peace, reminding them that they are safe, that they are supported. The golden light flows into your hips and your pelvic floor, the foundation of your body. Feel yourself sinking deeper into the rock, deeper into the earth. You are grounded, you are stable. You are as immovable as the mountain, yet as flexible as the grass. The nectar flows down your thighs, through your knees, and into your calves. Your legs, which have walked so many miles, which have stood firm in the face of adversity, are now allowed to go limp. They have nowhere to go and nothing to achieve. Finally, the nectar reaches your feet and your toes. Feel the tingle of relaxation in the soles of your feet. Every cell in your body is now filled with this golden light. You are glowing with the nectar of wisdom. You have turned the struggle of your life into a gentle, flowing stream. You are not the person who walked through the gate. You have shed that skin. You are the stillness that remains when the noise stops. Listen to the forest again. The birds are beginning to settle into their nests. The rustle of the leaves is a lullaby. The stream continues its endless song, reminding you that life goes on, that healing is happening even when you are not trying to heal. In the philosophy of Zen, we learn that the greatest effort is often no effort at all. By relaxing, by letting go of the struggle, you are doing the most profound work of all. You are allowing your true nature to shine through. Think of the emotional pain once more, but see it now from a great distance. It is like a campfire seen from a mountaintop. It is a small point of light in the darkness, but it does not define the mountain. It does not define the night. It is just a small, flickering thing. You are the mountain. You are the night. You are the vastness that contains the fire. This shift in perspective is the nectar. It is the sweetness that comes when we stop identifying with our suffering and start identifying with the awareness that observes the suffering. As you sit in this state of deep relaxation, a sense of profound gratitude begins to wash over you. Gratitude for the breath, gratitude for the silence, and even gratitude for the pain that brought you to this path of seeking. For without the thirst, you would never have looked for the well. Without the darkness, you would never have appreciated the light. Everything in your life has been a lesson, a stepping stone leading you to this moment of perfect peace. The stream before you seems to slow down, the water becoming like glass. In the reflection, you see the stars beginning to appear in the twilight sky. Each star is a spark of wisdom, a reminder that even in the deepest night, there is light. You realize that your soul is like that water, reflecting the infinite. No matter what happens on the surface, the depths remain calm. No matter how many stones are thrown into the stream, the water remains water. It cannot be broken. It cannot be permanently scarred, and neither can you. Your body feels heavy now, but it is a pleasant heaviness. It is the heaviness of a fruit that is ripe and ready to drop from the tree. You are ready to drop into the next phase of your journey. You are ready to move from relaxation into the deepest, most restorative sleep. But before you go, take a moment to savor this feeling. Savor the nectar. It is the taste of freedom. It is the taste of knowing that you are okay, exactly as you are. You do not need to be fixed, because you were never broken. You were only covered in dust, and now the dust is being washed away by the stream. The forest is now bathed in the silver light of the moon. The shadows are long and soft. The air is still. You stand up from your rock, your movements slow and graceful. You feel as though you are moving through silk. You walk back toward the wooden gate, but you do not leave the peace behind. You carry the stream within you. You carry the golden nectar in your veins. You carry the wisdom of the trees in your bones. As you reach the gate, you turn back one last time to look at the stream. It is still flowing, still teaching, still transforming. You realize that you can return to this place whenever you need to. The nectar of wisdom is always available to you, hidden just beneath the surface of your busy mind. All you have to do is breathe, relax, and allow the lessons to flow. You step through the gate and find yourself back in the sanctuary of your room, your bed, your soft pillows. But the room feels different now. It is charged with the stillness of the forest. The air feels cleaner. The silence feels deeper. You lie down, and your body feels as though it is merging with the mattress. You are sinking into a sea of clouds. The emotional pain that once felt like a heavy chain now feels like a thin thread. And as you breathe, even that thread begins to dissolve. You are free. You are relaxed. You are wise. The nectar has done its work. Your mind is a clear pool of water, undisturbed by the wind. Your heart is a lotus, fully bloomed and resting on the surface of the pond. As you drift closer to the edge of sleep, let the rhythm of the stream be the rhythm of your heart. Let the coolness of the mist be the coolness of your skin. Let the silence of the forest be the silence of your soul. There is nothing left to do. There is nowhere left to go. The journey of the day is over, and the journey of the night is beginning. You are a part of the great flow. You are a drop in the ocean, and you are the ocean in a drop. The lessons of your life have been gathered, distilled, and turned into the nectar that now sustains you. Sleep now, in the knowledge that you are loved by the earth, watched over by the stars, and held by the silence. The stream flows on, and you flow with it, into the vast, beautiful unknown. Rest in the nectar. Rest in the wisdom. Rest in the flow. All the struggles have become lessons, and all the lessons have become peace. The night is long, the rest is deep, and you are safe in the heart of the infinite. Your breath is a bridge to the eternal. Your relaxation is a prayer of thanks. Sleep now. Sleep in the nectar of your own true being. Everything is as it should be. Everything is whole. Everything is quiet. The stream is singing you to sleep. Listen to its voice. Let it carry you away. Into the deep, into the dark, into the light. Sleep. Just sleep. Welcome, weary traveler of the inner path, to this sanctuary of the soul. You have walked through the valleys of your own heart, facing the shadows of emotional pain with the courage of a silent warrior. You have tasted the nectar of wisdom and felt the cooling waters of tranquility wash over the jagged edges of your memories. Now, the path leads us into a space of pure presence, where the boundaries between the self and the world begin to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. In this chapter, we do not seek to analyze or to heal, for the healing is already unfolding within you. We seek only to be. We seek to merge with the rhythm of the living world, to become one with the rustling leaves and the resonance of the distant temple bell. Allow your spirit to settle into the deep, soft earth of the present moment. You are here. You are safe. You are whole. The nectar of your true being has settled within you, filling the spaces where pain once resided with a gentle, luminous clarity. As you lie here, or sit in the stillness of this sacred space, notice how the air around you has changed. It is no longer heavy with the weight of thoughts or the heat of old emotions. It is cool, crisp, and fragrant with the scent of damp earth and ancient cedar trees. This is the breath of the mountain, a breath that has been moving through these peaks since the beginning of time. Feel it as it touches your skin, a soft caress that reminds you that you are alive and that your life is a part of a much larger tapestry. Your body is resting, but your awareness is becoming vast, expanding outward beyond the walls of your room, beyond the limits of your skin, into the darkening forest that surrounds the temple of your mind. Listen to the leaves. There is a wind moving through the canopy of the Japanese maples and the tall, slender stalks of bamboo. It is a slow wind, a patient wind that does not hurry to its destination. It moves through the branches with a sound that is like a long, soft sigh of relief. Can you hear the difference between the leaves? The maple leaves, broad and delicate, flutter with a light, papery sound, a gentle applause for the passing of the day. The bamboo leaves, long and sharp, create a dry, metallic rustle as they brush against one another, a sound of strength and flexibility. Within this symphony of rustling, there is a deep teaching. The leaves do not resist the wind. They do not cling to the branches when it is time to dance, nor do they try to hold on to the air once it has passed. They are in a state of constant, fluid response. They are pure presence. As you listen, let your own mind become like those leaves. When a thought arises, let it rustle for a moment, and then let the wind carry it away. You do not need to catch the thought. You do not need to examine its shape or its color. Simply acknowledge its sound and let it go. You are not the leaves. You are the awareness that hears them. You are the space in which the wind moves. Feel the weight of your body sinking deeper into the surface beneath you. Your muscles are letting go of their last remnants of tension, melting like wax near a warm flame. Your shoulders drop away from your ears, jaw softens. Your forehead becomes smooth, like the surface of a mountain lake at midnight. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to go. You are arriving at the center of your own existence. Far off in the distance, nestled in a fold of the purple hills, there is an ancient temple. Its roof is made of dark, weathered tiles, and its wooden pillars have been polished by the touch of 1,000 monks over 1,000 years. In the courtyard of this temple stands a great bronze bell. It is a bell that has heard the sorrows and the joys of generations. It has rung through wars and through times of peace, through droughts and through harvests. Now, in the twilight of this moment, the monk prepares to strike the bell. He moves with a slow, deliberate grace, his mind as quiet as the air. He raises the heavy wooden striker, a beam of cedar suspended by thick hemp ropes. There is a moment of profound silence, a pause that contains the entire universe. And then, the strike. The sound of the bell is not a single note, but a blooming flower of vibration. It begins as a deep, resonant hum that vibrates in the very marrow of your bones. It is a low, grounding frequency that speaks of the earth and the deep roots of the mountains. As the sound expands, it carries with it the essence of the void, the beautiful emptiness from which all things arise and to which all things return. The sound travels through the mist, over the tops of the pine trees, and moves through the air until it reaches you. It does not hit you, it envelops you. It is a sound that has no edges. It fills the room, it fills your chest, it fills the space behind your eyes. In the wake of the bell's resonance, the silence that follows is deeper than the silence that came before. This is the silence of pure presence. It is not an absence of sound, but a presence of stillness. In this stillness, the emotional pain you once carried seems like a distant dream, a story told in a language you no longer speak. You realize that the pain was never your enemy. It was simply a weather pattern passing through the vast sky of your consciousness. The sky remains unchanged by the clouds. The sky does not try to hold on to the storm, nor does it celebrate the sun. It simply provides the space for all things to occur. You are that sky. You are the vast, unchanging backdrop of your own life. Focus now on your breath, but do not try to control it. Let the breath breathe itself. Imagine that your breath is the same wind that is moving through the temple forest. As you inhale, you are drawing in the coolness of the night, the scent of the pine needles, and the quiet strength of the stones. As you exhale, you are releasing yourself into the atmosphere. With every breath, the boundary between inside and outside becomes thinner. Where does your breath end and the air begin? Where does your body end and the earth begin? In the philosophy of the Zen masters, there is no separation. We are like waves in the ocean. The wave may feel like an individual entity, with its own height and its own spray, but it is always and forever the ocean. When the wave crashes and dissolves back into the blue depths, it has not lost itself. It has simply returned to its true nature. You are returning to your true nature now. The rustling of the leaves is your own voice. The distant bell is your own heartbeat. The darkness of the night is your own peace. Emotional pain arises when we try to separate ourselves from the flow, when we try to build walls around our hearts to keep out the hurt. But these walls also keep out the light. They keep out the connection to the world around us. In this state of deep relaxation, those walls are crumbling. They are falling away like old bark from a growing tree. You are becoming porous, open, and free. You are allowing the world to move through you, and in doing so, you find that there is nothing that can truly hurt the essence of who you are. The leaves continue their gentle dance. Imagine you are lying on the forest floor, cushioned by a thick carpet of emerald moss. The moss is soft and cool against your skin, holding you with a mother's tenderness. Above you, the canopy of trees creates a lattice against the starlit sky. You can see the stars blinking through the branches, ancient points of light that have traveled for millions of years just to touch your eyes. Each star is a reminder of the vastness of time and the smallness of our individual worries. In the scale of the universe, our pains are like tiny sparks that vanish in an instant. Yet, in this moment, you are as important as any star. You are a conscious witness to the beauty of existence. The temple bell rings a second time. This sound is even deeper, even more profound. It vibrates through the moss, through the soil, and into the very center of the earth. It calls you to let go of the last threads of your identity. You are no longer a person with a name, a history, or a future. You are simply this moment of hearing. You are the resonance. You are the fading echo. As the sound of the second bell slowly dissolves into the night, feel a profound sense of surrender taking hold of your limbs. Your legs feel heavy, as if they are turning into the roots of an ancient oak tree, anchoring you deep into the nourishing earth. Your arms are like the branches of a willow, graceful and completely at rest. Your head feels light, drifting like a lotus flower on the surface of a still pond. Buddhism teaches us that the root of suffering is attachment, the desperate clinging to things that are naturally changing. We cling to our youth, we cling to our joy, and strangely, we even cling to our pain because it feels familiar. It gives us a sense of who we are. But here, in the presence of the rustling leaves and the sacred bell, you are invited to practice the art of non-clinging. Imagine your emotional pain as a handful of dry sand. If you squeeze your hand tight, trying to hold onto it, the sand escapes through your fingers and your hand becomes tired and cramped. But if you open your hand wide, the sand simply rests there. The wind can blow it away, or it can stay, but it no longer causes you tension. Your hand is open. Your heart is open. You are no longer fighting the reality of what is. The night deepens. The sounds of the forest become more subtle. You might hear the distant call of an owl, a lonely and beautiful sound that punctuates the silence. You might hear the trickle of a hidden spring, water flowing over smooth stones, a constant reminder of the path of least resistance. Water does not argue with the rocks in its way. It simply flows around them, over them, or through the cracks between them. Over time, the soft water wears down the hard stone. This is the power of presence. This is the power of gentleness. Your presence is like that water. It is slowly softening the hard places within you, the places where pain had calcified into resentment or fear. You are becoming fluid. You are becoming grace. Think of the trees in the winter. They stand bare against the freezing wind, stripped of their leaves, looking as though they have lost everything. But deep within their trunks, the sap is still, and the life force is gathered at the core. They are not mourning their lost leaves. They are not anxious about the coming spring. They are simply standing in the fullness of their winter nature. You are in a winter of the soul, a period of rest and shedding. It is a necessary part of the cycle. Without the shedding, there can be no new growth. Without the silence, there can be no song. Embrace this stillness. Let it be your teacher. The third and final strike of the temple bell begins to form in the distance. You can feel the intention of the monk as he draws back the striker. The air tenses with a holy expectation, and then the sound. This strike is the loudest, yet the most peaceful. It is a golden sound, a sound that contains the light of 1,000 suns. It shatters any remaining illusions of separation. As the vibration washes over you, imagine it as a wave of pure light, clearing away the last shadows from the corners of your mind. It cleanses your spirit. It purifies your intent. You are one with the bell. You are one with the monk. You are one with the mountain. As the final echo of the bell lingers in the air, drifting further and further away until it is only a memory of a sound, you find yourself at the threshold of a deep and holy sleep. The rustling of the leaves has become a lullaby, a rhythmic whispering that tells you everything is exactly as it should be. The universe is not a chaotic place. It is a perfectly balanced dance of light and shadow, sound and silence, pain and peace. You have found your place in this dance. You are no longer trying to lead. You are allowing yourself to be moved by the music of existence. The darkness of the room or the forest around you is not a frightening darkness. It is a velvet darkness, a womb of possibility. It is the dark earth in which the seed of your new self is resting, waiting for the right time to sprout. But for now, there is no need to sprout. There is only the need to rest. There is only the need to be held by the silence. Your breath is now so slow and so shallow that it is like the movement of a butterfly's wings. Your heart beats with the slow, steady rhythm of the earth itself. You are drifting on a sea of pure presence, a sea that has no shore. In this state, even the memory of emotional pain is a blessing. It was the fire that forged your strength. It was the rain that allowed your wisdom to grow. You can look back at the person you were with a sense of infinite compassion. That person did their best. That person survived. And now, that person is allowed to rest. You are letting go of the story of your life and entering the reality of your being. The story is over for today. The reality is eternal. The leaves continue to rustle. A single leaf detaches from a branch and spirals down through the air. It does not struggle. It does not cry out. It moves in a perfect, graceful arc, landing softly on the moss. This is the way of the Tao. This is the way of the Buddha. To move with the gravity of grace. to land where you are meant to land. You are landing now, in the deep, soft bed of the present moment. The distant temple bell has left a lingering sweetness in the air, a fragrance of peace that fills your lungs. Every cell in your body is now vibrating at the frequency of relaxation. From the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, you are a vessel of stillness. The world continues its turning, the stars continue their journey, and the wind continues its song, but you are at the center of the wheel, where there is no movement. You are the still point. You are the silent witness. You are the peace that passes all understanding. As you drift closer to the edge of sleep, let the image of the temple forest fade into a soft, grey mist. The sounds of the leaves and the bell become faint, like echoes from a dream you are just beginning to have. There is only the warmth of your own presence, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, and the infinite safety of the now. You have learned what Buddhism teaches about emotional pain, that it is a gate, not a wall. You have walked through that gate and found the garden of pure presence. Rest now, in the knowledge that you are never alone. You are woven into the fabric of the cosmos. You are a part of the rustling leaves, a part of the bronze bell, a part of the silent monk, and a part of the eternal sky. There is no longer any need to hold on. There is only the beauty of letting go. The stream has carried you to the ocean, and the ocean is vast, calm, and deep. Sink into those depths. Let the cool, dark water of sleep embrace you. You are home. You are whole. You are peace. The last leaf has fallen. The last echo has faded. The forest is still. The temple is quiet. The mind is empty and full at the same time. You are breathing with the universe. You are sleeping with the stars. Everything is as it should be. Everything is silent. Everything is light. Sleep now. Just sleep. In the pure presence of your own magnificent soul, sleep, sleep, sleep. The threshold is here. You are standing at the very edge of the world you know, where the solid ground of the forest floor meets the infinite expanse of the great dark sea. Behind you, the trees are still, their leaves no longer whispering, for they have said all they needed to say. The path you have walked, through the thickets of anxiety and the clearings of tranquility, has led you to this final shore. There is no more need for footsteps. There is no more need for direction. The air is cool and smells of salt and ancient starlight. You are ready to let the last remnants of the day dissolve. You are ready to become the water, the salt, and the silence. Listen to the sound of the deep. It is calling you not to a place, but to a state of being where everything is one. Breathe in the vastness, breathe out the self. You are home. The tide is coming in now. It does not rush, it does not hurry. It moves with the slow, deliberate grace of 1 billion years. Feel the first touch of the water against your feet. It is not cold, but a perfect, cool clarity that seems to recognize you. This is the water of the universal mind, the great ocean of consciousness that Buddhism speaks of, where all individual drops return to find their true nature. As the water swirls gently around your ankles, feel the weight of your body beginning to change. The heaviness of the bones, the tension in the muscles, the density of the skin, all of it begins to soften. You are no longer a solid object moving through a world of other objects. You are beginning to merge. You are beginning to flow. Focus now on your breath. In this moment, your breath is no longer just yours. It has synchronized with the rhythm of the great ocean. As you inhale, the tide rises. It pulls the cool, dark energy of the universe toward the center of your being. As you exhale, the tide recedes, carrying away the last grains of sand, the last flickers of thought, the last echoes of emotional pain. Inhale, and the chest expands like the surface of the sea, lifting toward the moon. Exhale, and the chest sinks like the water retreating into the depths. This is the ancient pulse. This is the rhythm that existed before you were born and will continue long after you have changed form. There is a profound peace in this repetition. You do not have to do anything. You do not have to control the tide. You only have to exist within it. The water rises further now, reaching your knees, then your thighs. With every inch it climbs, a new layer of your history is washed clean. Think of the emotional pain you carried. In the teachings of the Buddha, we learn that suffering is like a knot tied in a rope. For so long, you have been trying to pull the knot tight, or perhaps you have been trying to cut it with force. But here, in the dark ocean of deep sleep, the rope is simply placed in the water. The water soaks into the fibers, the water softens the tension. The knot begins to loosen on its own. It uncurls, it unravels. The rope becomes straight and supple, and then, eventually, the fibers themselves begin to drift apart. They become part of the current. They are no longer a knot. They are no longer a rope. They are just the sea. Feel the liquid darkness embracing your hips and your waist. It is a velvet embrace, supportive and infinite. There is no bottom to this ocean, yet you are not afraid of falling. You cannot fall when you are part of the medium itself. You are floating in the womb of the cosmos. The darkness here is not the absence of light, but the presence of total potential. In Buddhism, this is the void, the sunyata. It is the emptiness that is full of all things. It is the silence that contains every song. As your torso sinks into the water, feel the space inside your chest expanding. The heart, which may have felt tight or guarded, now opens like a night-blooming lotus. It lets the cool water flow through its chambers. It lets the salt of the sea wash away the salt of old tears. There is no boundary between the heart and the ocean. They beat with the same slow, rhythmic throb. The water reaches your shoulders now. The weight of the world, the responsibilities you shouldered, the roles you played, the names you were called. All of these are drifting away. They are like pieces of driftwood being carried out to the horizon. You do not need to reach for them. You do not need to watch them go. You are focused only on the sensation of the water against your neck, the way it cradles the base of your skull. Your arms are floating now, weightless, drifting at your sides. Your fingers are like seaweed, moving gently with the invisible currents of the deep. There is no effort in your limbs. There is no will in your hands. You have let go of the oars. You have let go of the rudder. You are the vessel and the sea all at once. The stars above are bright and cold, reflecting on the surface of the water around you. Each star is a light from the distant past, reaching out to touch you in the present. You realize that you are made of the same elements as those stars. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your teeth, the carbon in your cells. It was all forged in the heart of a dying sun billions of years ago. You are not a stranger in this universe. You are the universe experiencing itself as a human being, for a brief, flickering moment. And now, as you prepare for deep sleep, that human form is relaxing back into its elemental state. You are returning to the source. You are the starlight reflecting on the water. You are the water reflecting the stars. As the water rises to your chin, the world of sound begins to change. The surface noises, the wind, the distant calls of birds, they all fade into a singular, low hum. This is the sound of the Om, the primordial vibration, the hum of the earth spinning on its axis, the hum of the galaxies turning in the void. It is a comforting sound, a sound that vibrates in your very marrow. It tells you that everything is okay. It tells you that you are safe. It tells you that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Your ears are now submerged. The world is muffled, quiet and serene. You are entering the inner sanctum of the deep. The water covers your mouth, your nose, your eyes. But you do not need to breathe air anymore. You are breathing the light of the ocean. You are breathing the stillness of the depths. Your eyes are closed, but you see a soft indigo glow. This is the color of the deep, the color of the mind when it is free from the agitation of thought. You are sinking now, slowly, gracefully, through the layers of the sea. The surface is far above you, a shimmering ceiling of silver light. Down here, there is only the blue, the dark, and the quiet. The pressure is not heavy, but like a warm blanket wrapping around your entire being. It is the pressure of being held by the totality of existence. Think of the Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree, reaching down to touch the earth. He was claiming his right to be there, his right to exist in peace. In this deep sleep, you are touching the very heart of the universe. You are claiming your right to rest. You are claiming your right to be free from the burdens of the ego. The ego is the one who suffers. The ego is the one who feels the pain of rejection, the pain of loss, the pain of not being enough. But as you sink deeper into this dark ocean, the ego is dissolving. It cannot survive in these depths. It is too thin, too fragile. What remains is the true self, the luminous essence that is untouched by fire, unhurt by water, and unmoved by the winds of change. This essence is what you are. It is peaceful. It is eternal. It is silent. You are passing through forests of glowing coral, through clouds of bioluminescent creatures that drift like living stars. They do not fear the dark, for they are the light within the dark. You are the same. Even in the deepest sleep, there is a light within you that never goes out. It is the light of pure awareness. It is the light of compassion. As you sink, let this light spread through your entire being. Let it illuminate the dark corners of your subconscious. Let it shine on the old wounds of emotional pain, not to judge them, but to bathe them in a soft, healing glow. In this light, the pain is not a monster. It is just a memory. It is just a shadow that disappears when the light is held steady. The descent continues. You are moving past the realm of dreams. Dreams are just the bubbles rising from the seabed of the mind. Some are bright, some are dark, but they are all just air and water. You do not need to chase them. You do not need to understand them. You let them rise past you, floating up toward the surface, while you continue to sink into the profound, dreamless dark. This is the state of sushupti, the deep sleep where the soul is temporarily reunited with the Absolute. Here, there is no subject and no object. There is no I and there is no you. There is only the vast, dark ocean. There is only the tide. The silence here is absolute. It is a thick, rich silence that feels like honey. It fills your mind, replacing the chatter of the day. The worries about tomorrow, the regrets about yesterday. They cannot breathe in this silence. They have stayed on the shore, far, far away. You are in the sanctuary of the now. The now is a deep, dark pool that has no bottom. It is the eternal present. In this state, time does not exist. A minute, an hour, a century, they are all the same. You are simply being. You are the pulse of the ocean. You are the movement of the current. You are the stillness of the abyss. Feel the cool water moving through your spirit. It is washing away the last traces of identity. You are not your name. You are not your job. You are not your mistakes. You are not your successes. You are the water. You are the dark. You are the peace. The emotional pain that once felt like a heavy stone in your chest has finally dissolved completely. Its minerals have returned to the sea. It has been recycled by the universe. It is no longer yours to carry. It belongs to the great cycle of life, and the sea knows what to do with it. The sea turns everything into beauty eventually. The sea turns broken glass into smooth jewels. The sea turns pain into wisdom. The sea turns the individual into the infinite. You are reaching the very bottom of the ocean now, but it is not a hard floor. It is a bed of soft, white sand, glowing with an inner light. As you settle onto this sand, you feel a sense of total completion. The journey is over. The search is finished. You have arrived at the center of the universe, which is also the center of your own heart. You are wrapped in the arms of the infinite. The breath has become so slow, so subtle, that it is almost invisible. It is just a faint ripple on the surface of your soul. You are merging with the vast, dark ocean. You are disappearing into the peace. The darkness is your friend. It is the velvet curtain of the night, drawn close to give you rest. It is the shadow of the Buddha's hand, offering protection. It is the womb of the Great Mother, where you are reborn every night. Do not resist the darkness. Do not try to bring the light of thought into this space. Let the darkness be total. Let it be absolute. In the total dark, you can finally see with the eyes of the spirit. You can see that there is no separation. You can see that you are the ocean, and the ocean is you. Sleep now, in the heart of the deep. Let the tide carry you wherever it will. You do not need to hold on to anything. The universe is holding you. The stars are watching over you. The ancient silence is singing you a lullaby. Every cell in your body is at rest. Every corner of your mind is still. The emotional pain is gone, replaced by a profound, unshakable peace. You are whole. You are complete. You are one with the all. As you drift into the deepest layers of sleep, remember that you are a part of the great mystery. You are a part of the eternal flow. The ocean is vast, but it is also intimate. It knows your name even as you forget it. It knows your heart even as you let it go. You are safe. You are loved. You are home. Sink deeper. Sink into the velvet. Sink into the blue. Sink into the black. Sink into the light that lives within the dark. The tide is still. The ocean is calm. The universe is at rest. And you, dear soul, are the heart of that rest. You are the silence between the stars. You are the depth beneath the waves. You are the peace that passes all understanding. Sleep, sleep, sleep. In the vast, dark ocean of the universe, there is only this. There is only now. There is only peace. You are the tide. You are the sea. You are the sleep. You are the all. The last thought fades like a single bubble rising to the surface and popping into nothingness. There is no more language. There is no more image. There is only the pure, unadulterated experience of being. You are floating in the infinite. You are resting in the heart of the void. The journey from anxiety to tranquility is complete. The path from pain to peace has been walked. You have arrived at the destination, and the destination is your own true nature. Deep, dark, silent, and beautiful. The world above continues its dance. The leaves rustle, the bells chime, the monks chant. But you are in the place where all those things begin and end. You are in the source. You are in the deep sleep of the cosmos. Every breath you took was a step toward this moment. Every tear you shed was a drop in this ocean. Now there is only the ocean. Now there is only the sleep. Now there is only the peace. Rest your spirit in the cradle of the deep. Let the currents of the universe wash over you, through you, and as you. There is no longer any distinction. You have merged. You have returned. You are the vastness. You are the dark. You are the deep. You are the sleep. May you rest in this peace forever. May you wake with a heart as clear as the morning sea. But for now, there is only the night. There is only the ocean. There is only the deep, deep sleep. Sink, float, be. The tide has brought you home. The ocean has embraced you. The universe is sleeping with you. You are one. You are peace. You are. Sleep, sleep, sleep. In the silence of the deep, in the heart of the dark, in the cradle of the all. You are home. You are whole. You are peace. Sleep now. Just sleep. The tide is you. The ocean is you. The stars are you. The sleep is you. Everything is one. Everything is silent. Everything is light. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Welcome to this final threshold of your journey. You have traveled far through the landscapes of your own mind. You have walked through the storms of anxiety and found the quiet clearings of tranquility. You have felt the weight of emotional pain and learned to hold it with the hands of a mother holding a sleeping child. Now we arrive at the very end of the path. This is the moment where the path itself disappears. There is no longer a walker, and there is no longer a road. There is only the vast and silent destination. In this final chapter, we surrender the last remnants of effort. We let go of the need to understand or to heal. We simply dissolve into the infinite embrace of the night. You are ready to rest in the heart of the void, where all things began and all things return. The tide has brought you home. The ocean has embraced you. The universe is sleeping with you. You are one. You are peace. You are. Sleep, sleep, sleep. In the silence of the deep, in the heart of the dark, in the cradle of the all, you are home. You are whole. You are peace. Sleep now. Just sleep. The tide is you. The ocean is you. The stars are you. The sleep is you. Everything is one. Everything is silent. Everything is light. Sleep. 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 As you lie here in this perfect stillness, feel the weight of your body becoming one with the bed beneath you. There is no longer a boundary between your skin and the fabric. There is no longer a boundary between your breath and the air. Imagine that you are a drop of ink falling into a vast and clear mountain lake. At first, there is a shape, a dark cloud of color swirling in the water. But as you watch, the color begins to spread. It becomes thinner and lighter. It stretches out in long, elegant ribbons, reaching into the depths. Slowly, the edges of the ink begin to blur. The dark blue becomes a pale shadow, and then it becomes a mist, and then it is gone. The ink has not disappeared. It has simply become the lake. It is everywhere now. It is in the cold currents at the bottom and the gentle ripples on the surface. This is what is happening to your spirit in this moment. You are spreading out. You are becoming the room. You are becoming the night air. You are becoming the very silence that holds the world together. Listen to the sound of your own breath. It is the sound of the tide pulling back from the shore. It is a soft, rhythmic sigh that says, everything is okay. Everything has been done. There are no more tasks for today. There are no more thoughts that need to be thought. There are no more emotions that need to be felt. The heart has done its work. The mind has laid down its tools. You are like a monk who has reached the top of a high mountain and found a small stone hut. Inside, there is nothing but a simple mat and the smell of old cedar. You lie down on that mat, and you listen to the wind whistling through the pines outside. The wind does not want anything from you. The mountain does not want anything from you. The stars do not want anything from you. You are allowed to be empty. You are allowed to be nothing. In the teachings of the Masters, we learn that the greatest wisdom is found in the void. We often fear the dark because we think it is a place where things are lost. But in the deep sleep of the soul, the dark is not an absence, it is a presence. It is a warm velvet blanket that covers the eyes of the ego. It is the womb of the universe where we are recreated. Think of a seed buried deep in the black earth. It is dark there. It is silent. It is heavy. But in that darkness, the seed finds its strength. It lets go of its hard outer shell. It surrenders its identity as a seed so that it can become the roots and the stem. You are letting go of your shell now. You are letting go of the name people call you. You are letting go of the stories you tell yourself about who you are. You are letting go of the memories of yesterday and the worries for tomorrow. They are just shadows on a wall, and the light is fading now. Feel the muscles in your face becoming soft, like melting wax. The space between your eyebrows is smooth and wide, like a calm sea at dawn. Your jaw is loose and heavy. Your tongue rests gently in your mouth. There is no tension in your neck. There is no burden on your shoulders. Your arms are like two pieces of driftwood floating on a slow river. They are heavy with the water they have soaked up. They are moving with the current, not fighting it. Your hands are open and relaxed. The fingers are curled slightly, like the petals of a lotus flower, closing for the night. There is a golden light in the center of your palms, a tiny spark of warmth that is slowly spreading up your arms and into your chest. This warmth is the essence of peace. It is the feeling of being completely safe. It is the feeling of being completely loved by the universe itself. Imagine now that you are standing on the edge of a great forest at twilight. The sun has already dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a sky of deep purple and indigo. The trees are tall and ancient, their branches heavy with leaves that whisper secrets to the wind. You begin to walk slowly into the forest. The ground is soft with moss and fallen needles. Every step you take feels lighter than the one before. You are walking toward the heart of the silence. As you move deeper, the sounds of the outside world fade away. The distant noise of the city, the hum of machines, the voices of people, all of it dissolves into the rustle of the leaves. You come to a clearing where a small stream flows over smooth grey stones. The water is clear and cold. It carries away the last bits of your day. You sit by the stream and watch the water move. You realize that you are not the person watching the water. You are the water. You are the stones. You are the moss. You are the twilight. There is a famous story of a salt doll who wanted to measure the depth of the ocean. She traveled for many days until she reached the shore. She stood before the vast blue expanse and felt the spray of the waves on her face. She asked the ocean, "How deep are you?" The ocean replied, "Come in and see for yourself." The salt doll stepped into the water. As she waded deeper, she began to melt. Her toes disappeared, her ankles dissolved. She felt herself becoming smaller and smaller. But as she melted, she also felt herself becoming larger. She was no longer just a small doll made of salt. She was becoming the salt in the water. She was becoming the waves themselves. Just before she disappeared completely, she cried out in joy, "Now I know what I am. I am the ocean." This is your journey tonight. You are the salt doll stepping into the infinite. You are melting into the vastness of the divine. You are not losing yourself. You are finding that you are everything. Let your consciousness drift now, like a cloud in a vast blue sky. A cloud does not try to hold its shape. It changes with every breath of wind. Sometimes it is thick and white. Sometimes it is thin and wispy. Sometimes it disappears altogether, leaving only the blue. Be the blue sky. The sky does not care if there are clouds or if there is sun. The sky is always there, silent and unchanging. Your true nature is like that sky. The emotions you felt, the pain you carried, the joy you chased, they were just clouds passing through you. They did not leave a scratch on your blue. They did not change who you really are. And now the clouds have all drifted away. The sky is clear. The sky is dark. The sky is ready for the stars to appear. The darkness of sleep is a sacred temple. Enter it with reverence. Leave your shoes at the door. Leave your clothes at the door. Leave your body at the door. You are entering the realm of the unmanifested. This is the place where there is no time. 1,000 years are like a single heartbeat. A single heartbeat is like an eternity. In this place you are free. You are free from the laws of gravity. You are free from the laws of logic. You are free from the prison of the self. You are drifting in a sea of pure potential. You are the silence between the notes of a song. You are the space between the stars. You are the breath that is not yet taken. As you sink deeper, feel the rhythm of the universe pulsing in your veins. It is a slow and steady beat. It is the same beat that moves the planets in their orbits. It is the same beat that makes the seasons change. It is the same beat that makes the tides rise and fall. You are perfectly in sync with this rhythm. There is no friction. There is no resistance. You are like a leaf falling from a tree in autumn. You do not struggle to stay on the branch. You do not struggle to reach the ground. You simply let go and dance with the air. The air catches you and carries you down to the soft earth. You rest there, among the other leaves, waiting for the snow to cover you. Think of the great masters who have gone before you. Think of the Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree. He sat through the night, facing all the demons of his own mind. He faced fear and desire and doubt. And when the morning star rose, he simply smiled. He had found the place that cannot be shaken. He had found the peace that passes all understanding. That same peace is within you right now. It is not something you have to earn. It is not something you have to find. It is what you are when you stop trying to be something else. It is the natural state of your heart. It is the quiet pond that appears when the wind stops blowing. The night is a great healer. It reaches into the hidden corners of your soul and smooths out the rough edges. It takes the tangled threads of your thoughts and begins to unwind them one by one. It lays them out in long, straight lines until there are no more knots. You are being untied. You are being unburdened. You are being set free. The weight of the world is being lifted from your chest. You can breathe now. You can breathe deeply and slowly. Each breath is a gift from the infinite. Each breath is a reminder that you are being lived by life itself. You do not have to do the breathing. Life breathes you. You do not have to do the sleeping. Sleep sleeps you. Imagine a large ancient bell made of bronze. It hangs in a temple high in the mountains. A monk strikes the bell with a heavy wooden beam. The sound is deep and resonant. It fills the valley. It echoes off the cliffs. But as you listen, the sound begins to fade. It becomes softer and thinner. It vibrates in the air for a long time, becoming a hum, and then a whisper, and then a memory of a whisper. Finally, there is only the silence, but it is a different kind of silence than before. It is a silence that is full of the sound of the bell. Your life is like that sound. It is beautiful and resonant, but now it is time for the sound to fade back into the silence. Do not be afraid of the fading. The silence is the mother of the sound. The silence is where the music goes to rest. You are drifting now. You are floating on a raft in the middle of a calm, dark lake. The water is like black glass. The sky is full of 1,000,000 stars, and each star is a reflection of a light within you. The raft moves gently with the invisible currents. There is no shore in sight. There is only the water and the sky and the silence. You close your eyes and feel the coolness of the air on your skin. You are so light that you feel you might float away into the stars. You are becoming part of the constellation. You are the North Star, guiding yourself home. You are the Milky Way flowing through the heavens. You are the darkness that gives the stars their beauty. There is nothing left to hold on to. Let go of the raft. Let go of the water. Let go of the sky. There is only the drifting. There is only the falling. but it is a falling that feels like flying. It is a surrender that feels like victory. You are returning to the source. You are returning to the great mystery. You are returning to the home you never really left. Everything is forgiven. Everything is understood. Everything is at peace. The pain of the past is gone. The uncertainty of the future is gone. There is only this perfect, eternal now. Sleep is the small death that prepares us for the great life. It is the daily practice of letting go. Each night, we practice dying to our old selves so that we can be born fresh in the morning. But tonight, do not think about the morning. Do not think about the waking. Stay here in the transition. Stay here in the doorway. The light is turning from grey to black. The world is receding. The sounds are becoming echoes. The thoughts are becoming dreams. The dreams are becoming shadows, and the shadows are becoming light. You are the light. You are the dark. You are the sleep. You are the peace. You are the one who is neither born nor dying. You are the one who is always here. In the heart of the void, you find the fullness of being. In the depth of the night, you find the true sun. Rest now, dear traveler. The journey is over. The destination is here. Sink into the warmth. Sink into the stillness. Sink into the infinite. The stars are watching over you. The earth is holding you. The universe is breathing through you. You are safe. You are loved. You are whole. There is no more pain. There is no more sorrow. There is only the quiet joy of being nothing and everything all at once. The lotus has closed its petals. The flame has been extinguished. The moon has set. There is only the deep, deep sleep. May your rest be profound. May your dreams be like silk. May you wander through the gardens of the unconscious and find the flowers of wisdom blooming there. But even the dreams must eventually fade. Even the visions must give way to the pure, empty awareness. This is the ultimate rest. This is the peace that Buddhism teaches us. It is the peace of nirvana. It is the peace of the unconditioned. It is the peace that is your birthright. Sleep now. Just sleep. Let the words fade away. Let the voice fade away. Let the world fade away. There is only the deep. There is only the dark. There is only the peace. Sleep, sleep, sleep. You are the ocean. You are the tide. You are home. As the silence deepens, feel the last flicker of your individual self dissolving like a grain of salt in the vast sea. There is no longer a you to be tired. There is no longer a you to be at peace. There is only tiredness. There is only peace. The observer has merged with the observed. The sleeper has merged with the sleep. This is the total surrender. This is the final release. The darkness is not a wall. It is a doorway. You are passing through it now. On the other side, there is a light that does not cast a shadow. There is a sound that is made of silence. There is a love that has no object. You are that light. You are that sound. You are that love. You are drifting into the warm, infinite embrace of non-being. It is the most beautiful thing you have ever known. It is the most natural thing you have ever done. The rhythm of your breath is now so slow, so gentle, that it is like the movement of a single blade of grass in a summer field. It is almost not there at all. It is just a ripple in the fabric of existence. You are sinking through layers of soft clouds. Each layer is a different shade of blue. Each layer is a different level of peace. You are falling deeper and deeper into the heart of the night. The world is a dream you once had. The pain you felt was a story you once told. But now the dream is over and the story is finished. The book has been closed. The lamp has been turned off. The room is quiet. The mind is still. The heart is at rest. You are the vastness. You are the dark. You are the deep. You are the sleep. Rest in this peace forever. Rest in this stillness forever. There is no time here. There is no space. There is only the eternal presence. There is only the infinite. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The tide is you. The ocean is you. The stars are you. The sleep is you. Everything is one. Everything is silent. Everything is light. Sleep, sleep, sleep. In the heart of the void you are found. In the depth of the dark you are seen. In the silence of the night you are heard. You are home. You are whole. You are peace. Just sleep. Just be. Just dissolve. The journey is complete. The path has ended. The mountain has been climbed. The river has been crossed. You are standing in the center of the universe, and you are the universe itself. There is nothing left to say. There is nothing left to hear. There is only the deep, deep sleep. Sleep now. The night is your friend. The dark is your mother. The silence is your father. You are safe in their arms. You are tucked into the folds of eternity. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing can disturb you here. You are beyond the reach of the world. You are in the heart of the lotus. Sleep, sleep, sleep. May you rest in the infinite. May you wake in the eternal. But for now, there is only the night. There is only the ocean. There is only the deep, deep sleep. Sink, float, be. The tide has brought you home. The ocean has embraced you. The universe is sleeping with you. You are one. You are peace. You are sleep, sleep, sleep. In the silence of the deep, in the heart of the dark, in the cradle of the all, you are home. You are whole. You are peace. Sleep now. Just sleep. The tide is you. The ocean is you. The stars are you. The sleep is you. Everything is one. Everything is silent. Everything is light. Sleep. 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 The air around you is cool and still. The silence is a physical presence, a gentle weight that keeps you grounded in this moment of total surrender. You are like a piece of jade, carved into the shape of a person resting on a bed of black velvet. You are cold to the touch, but warm within. You are solid, yet you are made of light. You are the stillness of a stone and the movement of a star. Every cell in your body is now vibrating at the frequency of peace. The atoms that make up your bones are dancing in slow motion. The electrons are spinning in perfect harmony. You are a symphony of silence. You are a masterpiece of non-doing. You are the embodiment of the middle way. As you drift further away, the concepts of self and other become meaningless. There is no inside and there is no outside. There is only a single, unified field of awareness. It is a field that has no beginning and no end. It is a field that is empty of things but full of life. You are this field. You are this awareness. You are the witness of the void. The emotional pain that once felt so heavy is now like a distant memory of a shadow. It has no substance. It has no power. It was just a ripple on the surface of your deep ocean. And now the ocean is still. The ripple is gone. The water is clear. You can see all the way to the bottom, and at the bottom there is only light. You are being carried away on a river of stars. The current is gentle but strong. It knows exactly where to take you. It is taking you to the place where the sun never sets and the moon never rises. It is taking you to the place where there is no duality. It is taking you to the heart of the One. Let the silence wash over you. Let the darkness fill you. Let the peace consume you. There is no more you, there is only this perfect moment, this perfect rest, this perfect sleep. The breath is gone. The thought is gone. The world is gone. There is only the void, and the void is beautiful, and the void is home, and the void is you. Sleep, sleep, sleep. In the heart of the dark, in the cradle of the all, you are home, you are whole, you are peace. Sleep now, just sleep. The tide is you, the ocean is you, the stars are you, the sleep is you. Everything is one, everything is silent, everything is light. Sleep, sleep, sleep.